for the dick slapping.
So to the to the
or is it survival?
Here it is. To the two with their head down, they don't notice it.
No.
However, Torin, as you rotate the periscope around, you see Leroy, who's normally very much a gentleman who can do the, the leg cock and 2 or 3 steps to adjust because it's cold. He's just unceremoniously reaching, hand not even in pocket, and just doing full-on adjustment to the cold, barehanded, indiscriminately.
Torin's just gonna snap the fucking periscope back up and turn away and quickly go down the ladder without saying anything to Peter.
Honestly, out of curiosity, I'm gonna look.
What did you see? What did you see?
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna, look up to the periscope.
Give
Do I
me.
need to roll for it?
I need you to give me a history roll.
A history roll.
Yep. You remember roughly what angle it was he was looking at?
You really don't. You really,
hop on,
going at the wrong
and you rotate the periscope roughly to where you think you're like, oh, he was looking at Leroy and them dissecting the Stellargeist. And you see the end half of Leroy barehanded, no pocket discipline, no public decency, because you're in Antarctica. Who cares? Who's looking? It's the one time he's not being a gentleman. Just full both balls and dick adjustment outside of the pants, because it's uncomfortable. Just giving that slight squat, because it's just bunched up.
Just... Let it be known that many a gentleman in British society, and since the South emulates British society, many a gentleman was known for having some rather
He's got the fucking hip waggle.
behaviors.
You ever wear dress pants and you get a bunch and you're like, oh, you gotta reach in your pocket and be a gentleman about it, or make it look like you're taking extra long strides. Nah.
Oh my god.
Nah.
You quite literally had to put that hip waggle in my mind. Now I can't get it.
Half a lot hip waggle, one hand.
Everybody here knows the one-handed hip waggle. You didn't have the decency for that this time because nobody was looking at you, so why would you need to do that? So you're just full hand adjusting, thinking nobody's looking. Except Peter is now looking. Peter, how do you react?
I'm just gonna, pretty much do what Torin did. Not say anything and go down the ladder to the lower deck.
Torin's gonna look back at him and they're gonna have a second of awkward eye contact.
You're like, yeah, just like, huh?
The dead body's down here.
Yeah.
Let us start with their sleeping arrangements. See if we can find crew lockers and such.
I'll stay away from the dark
shit.
Very volatile balls. I mean, fuse.
I'm already on the verge of needing an oxygen machine. Stop laughing.
Laughter's the best medicine, don't you know?
Not for COVID.
It's actually killing him.
Arizona man dies from laughter.
Dies from laughter because his party is a bunch of fucking chuckle nuts who have to adjust their balls in the Antarctic.
Look, it's important, alright?
Leroy's gonna turn around and see the periscope fucking pointed right at him.
Man, talk about a stiff hand, right?
Nah, you failed the perception, so he thought nobody was watching him. He's just like, I'll take a moment to do this.
I like the idea that if he'd seen us, he would have had his hand halfway down his pants and just slowly withdrawn it.
Slowly withdrawn, pretended he was doing something else. Take his hat off, be like, oh yeah, get the dust off my hat.
Yeah, he's definitely dusting his hat. That's for damn sure.
Leroy just had a near-death experience,
after fighting a mythical beast.
Yeah.
And
He's taking his coat out.
he just needs to relieve some stress.
His pants got a little bunched, and he just has to unbunch himself. He has to.
Well, at least
Yeah.
it won't be at least it won't be that much of a difference in color between the rest of the continent.
Yeah, feel free to hop in stream. I was having this chit chat for a little while because obviously Nikos isn't here yet, but will be joining us, and Wilhelm, not wanting to dismerge his German compatriots. Nah, he's busy today, so he will not be with us. However, Nikos would be a little bit late. He's selling that good cheese.
I told
Show us the cheese, man.
I told John about some German brandy and to look for it. So
Ooh, all right, that'll cheer him up, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah. But yeah, feel free to grab your dice, grab your drink, get cozy. If I'm saying something I cut out for a moment, it's because I'm hacking up a lung, but
Do you have lungs?
barely.
I didn't know you could hack lungs, but like, what are you mining crypto on them?
No, like when you hack it with an axe, because like chunks of lung filament are falling out. Getting over Koof number 7. Ugh. Thankfully, it's
Koof
finally
of
cleared
Theta.
up, though.
The Theta Iota Omicron variant.
I already had Omicron like twice, I think. That one was weird, but was gone in like a day. This one, it's actually clinging around for like 3 days. I don't like it. But, I actually got like chest compressions from this one, which is weird. And concerning, because I've actually been running lately, so I should be okay. But, let's see. Pulling up some notes, pulling up some stuff. Let's get everybody here in the Roll 20. This is going to be a very chill, laid back, probably for the most part administrative and maybe some roleplay this session. As you guys have completed your objective and your secondary objective and your side objective. Simply a matter of wrapping up, cleaning up, doing some searching, and eventually making your way on back.
Okay, the background's updated.
Yeah. You
Got
guys
more
completed
pictures.
another mission, so you get some more pictures of that mission.
Okay, we actually completed it this time.
Notice how each mission you complete, you get more pictures?
That's such a fun theme. I love that.
It is good, even though I don't know if you consider the last one completed, but hey.
I mean, the monastery's kinda still there.
Task failed successfully.
And the two important persons kinda weren't followed up on, but you have decided that they're stinky. And you made a friend among the, Knights of Malta, so, yeah.
They can't take anything out if it's all alive and trying to kill them.
Watch them have like a bunch chained up and like, oh wait.
Oh,
That might happen.
Oh, no.
Just a bunch chained up somewhere.
Breaking news on a horn today. Italy has fallen.
What
That's
can
it.
stand up to this zombie uprising? Turns out, it's the Knights of, Jerusalem.
Droves of the undead are swarming across Italy as we speak. Aid from the UN is fucked. It's all
League
fucked.
of
Yeah, there's
League of
aid
Nations,
coming
not the UN.
Oh yeah, right.
League of Nations is fucking useless. Ah!
The Knights of St. Lazarus are asking for any help possible. Wondrous Company, do we answer their call?
Nope, it's Sunday.
Nah, it's their fault.
It's
Whenever
Sunday,
it
we're
breaches
taking the day
Italian
off.
border, whenever it breaches Italian borders, that's when we take responsibility.
Aw.
Yeah. Yes, Italy has wound up in quite a mess. As the kids like to say, spaghetti is falling out of their pockets.
Yeah, the spaghetti has fallen. Spaghetti has fallen.
I thought Italy was too poor for spaghetti in 36.
The
Remember Mussolini was trying to get them all to switch to rice because he liked it better
Yeah.
than pasta?
He's like, rice is good, right, guys? It's just like pasta, right? It's tiny pasta. And then he stuck his face on the front of a building.
Tiny
So that's why they hanged him up in that street.
First you make us eat tiny pasta, then you take our tomatoes away. Then you put your face on the wall? No, hang this guy.
That's the last fucking straw.
But, let's see, a little recap here. Wondrous Company flew down to the Falklands. Met your crew and the ship that you'd be taking. Took that ship down on a nice little torpedo dodging adventure and a happy fun time. After some minor damage and what seems to be an underwater charge, which was thankfully thwarted by a hastily assembled low-level, low-depth depth charge made with axle grease and oil. Thanks to Wilhelm.
That was really clever. I give him props for that.
Clever. You guys managed to wipe out the likely follow-alongs with the U-boats, which seem to be sirens. Making your way to Deception Island, albeit limping, you guys disembarked and investigated the silent listening and observation post ahead of the ship as it made its way the rest of the way there in your little seaplane. You guys realized it was assaulted, destroyed, and promptly burnt for any remaining information that wasn't useful or grabbed up. Leaving a few questions, including finding some knickknacks here and there. After that, you guys mounted back up, hopped back on, and the ship announced that they would be making some repairs while in the soft waters of Deception Island. Meaning you guys had enough fuel to fly on down, make a nice landing, but deciding not to want to land like normal, you guys did the first Antarctic parachute drop, pending combat parachute drop, which is a fun thought.
I dare say we are true innovators in this century.
Right. Landing, getting your sled, making your way along, and trekking through the snow for a good few hours. Excuse me. You guys made your way and found the main objective, the Schwabenland 2. Searching it, finding some information, some aerial photos, and realizing what happened to all the crew, you decided, that was enough, and decided to make your way back to the plane. En route, you ended up upon what seemed like ambush situation, where a large amount of German naval infantry were in a pretty pitched fight against what you guys come to find was a often called in more eastern hemispheres a Ningen, or to the rest of the world, snow sprites, snow fairies, snow devils. A lot of various nicknames for them, as nobody's really... Ho-ho.
It's a snow hoe, alright?
It's a snow hoe.
It's a hoe for the snow.
Snow hoe.
And I'm not talking about actual snow. I'm talking about cocaine. This is not drugs.
Oh no. We're not in Miami yet. That's a later
This
mission.
is Zootopia 2. We're actually about the cocaine trade.
Oh, jeez.
It was always about drugs.
It was always about the cocaine trade. It was drugs the whole time.
God, it was.
Like how Leroy's backstory is that he was involved in Iran-Contra.
Right. Ironically. Having eliminated the Snow Devil and recovering one crew member who reluctantly led you to the alleged U-boat that had surfaced in a little lake, where they dismounted and set out to find the ship and do exactly what you guys were doing. Recover information and destroy anything that needed to be destroyed. It seems they weren't very thorough in how they did it, because you guys did manage to find information that they didn't recover. However, following them to the U-boat, two of you investigated inside it, realizing a rather horrible scene that seems to have happened after they emerged and after the main bulk of the forces inside it had left. However, not investigating any further as fear overtook you while everybody outside was a bit more skittish or frightful, you realize the source of all this fear and perpetual horror was quite literally emanating and being projected by some sort of monster that crawled its way out. Fighting that monster and defeating it, you realized you have defeated a Schnellergeist, or also known as a Snelligaster, what used to be in folklore monster that allegedly had all died off and were no longer around. However, you guys promptly harvested a lot off it in front of a very traumatized Torn. And mounting all your stuff up on the cart and pulling it over, we last left off with you guys deciding whether or not to investigate the U-boat and where to go from there. So we'll move the map on over here. So now with the dead Snelligast, and with the U-boat sticking out of the ice, lots of rounds dumped and used, what we'll basically be able to do is consider Nikos and Wilhelm going to be working on the Schnellergeist in kind of writing down and choreographing that and taking note of it. And then obviously Torn will be the one to fully revise that and jot that down, as there is no real hard set information on this particular creature. Despite this being a reignited magical mythos world, for some reason, this is one of those beings that lacks a lot of information.
Very high lead content in blood. Oh, wait, never mind.
Oof. Yeah, the massive amounts of 303 holes in this thing is insane. However, we leave it now with the four of you able to investigate or continue through however you would like. Obviously, the crewman is back at the, or rather the naval infantryman is back at the plane with the pilot. Tied up. So, we now resume with you four. Free to go about and do as you wish. How would you like to proceed?
Very carefully.
Now that the thing is dead, I mean, there's a submarine there.
I hate this place.
You okay?
It's cold, and there's unspeakable horrors that we've seen twice now.
I'm afraid that there's not much about the submarine we can do about it. It does have a hole in its side, and I don't know about you, but holes on a ship, especially holes that were not meant for the ship, tend to be a very bad thing if we're trying to get it home.
Especially on submarine.
Especially on submarine.
Perhaps we can steal one of the submarine's propellers from the destroyer.
You know, that's not the craziest idea. Is it compatible is the question. Do we have a nautical expert? Do we have a shipbuilding expert?
I would expect the ship's crew to have someone who knows how to do that.
You tell me you're not part of the White Fleet?
Oh.
Father Pyotr was not part of the White Fleet?
No.
There was not much of naval battles during the Civil War.
I doubt those two.
On top of that, I was actually a cavalryman.
Oh.
What else do you expect from a Cossack?
Russia's a
Versus
wild
agility.
place.
I figured you'd just all ride sleds.
I mean, you ride sleds as much as you would ride a wagon.
Anyways, I doubt those two looked very closely in there, given the fact that there's, that was also in there. So I'm gonna go look for stuff.
And yeah, let's get this over with.
Useful information, maps, charts the captains had. Just important things.
I still think we should see if we can take the propeller off.
It's not a bad idea.
Gotta specify that hat. Gotta specify it.
A little away from the ice, the ice hole.
Listening to James, I'm just hearing some of the gambit coming through. Who was your voice coordinator? Minion?
Trying to channel the Meat Canyon, Mr. Weller's voice, but
Oh, hell yeah.
that works too. The old Mr. Wellers.
Oh, Mr. Wells.
Which end of this submarine is the front? I don't know why you
That
put-
would be this end
north
up
part.
top, the north part. You guys are at the back part.
Before we go in,
AA gun voices. Voices? It voices backwards, eh?
Hey, gun voices.
well, I don't know, because a lot of subs will have the deck gun on the stern too. Like that's literally
U-boats had
down
it
to
on the
individual
front.
captains.
Yeah,
They
U-boats had
did
it on the
both.
front.
They did both. Is the thing. Everyone did both.
This earlier model that I'm roughly imagining this one was, it's got the old 88 on the front.
All right. Before we go inside, I want to take a little look-see here.
Give me dexterity and a investigation.
Or what's that propeller? He ain't getting that propeller.
Well, now you die.
As you're
Wow.
kind of tiptoeing your way over and obviously being very astute and capable in walking on ice and snow and whatnot, you're able to go across, but very quickly you realize it's starting to give and crack in ways that it shouldn't. And with how the ice kind of got pried upwards by this sub emerging, and how the ice is regrown underneath it, raising it further out of the water, it's that ice shape that's really good at cracking and you disappearing under ice. So you kind of have to stop. You can't get very close to it, but what you can barely see at the right angle, I mean, if you want the propellers, they're kind of bent and curled inward. But if you can hammer them out, I mean, yeah, you're
Better than no propeller.
you're welcome to use them, but they're awful curled.
It's better than no propeller. Maybe. I guess we'll go back, and I will tell Thorin that maybe we can get them, but they do look damaged, and I am a little too heavy to be able to get over to them.
Maybe we just sink the front of the ship. They'll come out of the water.
Oh, no,
I thought the whole sub was basically sitting out of the water.
Almost. There's like a
Impressive.
tiny bit of the belly at the very center that is still in water, assumedly. Under the ice, of course.
Alright, we're going inside.
Who's going inside? Who's staying outside? Are you going with them, Leroy?
Hey, it's a jolly holiday with Mary.
I'll take that as a yes.
Yes.
He's gone senile.
Oh no. Hachu, you
He
going
sings when
inside?
he's nervous.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I'm going
Yeah.
inside.
Yes. No, wait.
Chiss. Oh, yes.
Ah, yes, me musculus. Alright, let
Yes,
me copy paste here. Because it's a very narrow map and it's really hard to copy paste because if you're not in the right dimension, you just kind of fall.
Into eternity.
Torin has fallen out of the map.
Oh no.
Thorin has fallen to his death. Peter has fallen to his death.
Let's move this on over to Arctic Sub Interior. Here you go. Leroy, you're
Long
familiar.
hair.
Oh, sweet Jesus. I wonder if they ran out of here.
Why is it so dark?
You gotta go further down. You're
Into the
entering
front?
at the back of the ship, not the front.
Well, I guess we'll go butt to tip.
Oh. Just the tip.
Let's make our way down. to here and start looking around the torpedo storage because people sleep there.
Meow.
This place feels small for me. How do people live in here?
How do you think I feel?
Yeah, Hachu's awful cramped in here.
Hachu is a snake. He's in a snake-like corridor. He can slither.
As I slither through blood and just...
You just drag it all with you. Yeah, give me investigation, the four of you, as you make your way into the aft torpedo room.
No, not investigation.
I'm gonna roll like ass all day today, aren't I?
I forgot to create the actual sheet. That probably would help me. Investigation.
Torin can see better because he's a little...
Hey!
I have dark vision. I
do have dark vision. Also, where's my character?
I was gonna say, I think you merged it with Leroy there.
Oh.
Where's Torin? Oh, there's Torin.
He's straddling a torpedo,
He's riding a
apparently.
He's currently working on taking the casing off of that torpedo.
What? Oh.
There's a gyroscope in
Run
here.
to the hills.
Oh my god.
Run for your life.
So
I mean, they don't go off just because you tamper with the inside of them. The torpedoes are way more stable than that.
I know.
It's early tech.
Mark 14
we don't
times
notice.
As the four of you go walking or slithering your way on in.
It's early tech. It's more likely that it'll never go off.
More than likely, yeah. Like the other ones that should have detonated close to you but didn't.
You know, you guys keep saying that, and I keep thinking of what happened to the blue chair. With those fucking World War I torps.
Got dudded like, what, 20 times?
No, it got hit by like 2 torps and exploded. Fucking state-of-the-art Admiral Hipper class German cruiser sunk by World War I Austro-Hungarian torps.
Oh yeah.
Well, also, I'm gonna be honest. That class of ships turned out to be a little fragile because you want to know what happened in another one. Got blown up by a fucking fort battery from like 1914. That was built in like 1914.
There was also one that was tested at Bikini Atoll and actually survived.
So what's that? What's going on here?
Bombs aren't good at sinking ships.
Torpedoes are a gamble, but as you guys make your way on in, this room is actually relatively clean compared to the entrance that you just came into, as if there was nobody here. What you do notice is there are 2 torpedoes that are loaded and seem to be half loaded, the other one into the rear torpedo tubes. Fyodor, you're not much of a Navy guy. You're a cavalryman. You're a snowman. You're a mountaineer. But the other 3 of you, you're able to kind of garner and get the idea that they were being unloaded to be brought to the front. Seeing as, well, you can only assume if this was one of the U-boats that engaged you, it blew its entire front load, and not wanting to return all the way back to its port to reload.
It blew its what?
It was using its rear torpedoes.
It's load, Hachu.
It's load of ordnance. That's how you measure ordnance loads.
Is there even enough space to turn a torpedo around in one of these fucking things?
No, what you do is you pull them up on deck through the aft loading hatch and then move them forward.
What a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, it's not an easy time at all. But yeah, other than that, you got 2 torpedoes back here. One's in a half-loaded state. The other one's fully loaded and chambered in.
While we're in here, we should look for damage from the depth charge, quote unquote.
You do that. Torin is opening this torpedo.
Give me sleight of hand, Torn. And if you want to look for
God, if we all die.
depth charge damage, give me investigation.
Oh.
I'll look for the depth charge damage, I guess.
Little
depth charge damage.
Cobalt.
Damn.
Oh.
Can I just not roll for the rest of tonight and you can just give me...
Nah, we're getting all the bad ones out of the way. We're getting all the
That's
bad
not
ones
how it
out.
works for me, and you know it.
Yeah, it is. You gotta believe in the dice, man.
You should
So,
also roll your dice.
Clearly doesn't.
As all of you are looking around, Hachu, you can't help but really look at the ceiling and the walls because your head's almost touching it. So just kind of looking straight up in your eye socket, you're like, ah. The ceiling, back wall, side walls, pipes. Yeah, there's a lot of dirt and grime on top of these pipes. They didn't clean these. Then again, they probably couldn't reach these either. Yeah, I guess that makes sense why there'd be a little bit of grime build up here. But no dents, no hole integrity. What would the word be? Decreasing? I don't know. No evidence of any damage or hole integrity or breaches or anything like that, other than the obvious one that was very clearly made when it was outside of water. The other two of you, you're trying to look around and kind of investigate, like, maybe there was damage here, maybe there was this or that. Maybe one of the depth charges hit it if this is the one that was, like, right on our ass, maybe. Before you can really investigate that, there's a loud ting as the torpedo that's halfway loaded, since that's the one that you can actually get to. So in the older German torpedoes, this style, bear with me here, the front third of it is still inside the loading tube. The back 2/3 of it is laying at your feet with a very loud clang, Torn.
Oops.
Well,
Oops. What do you mean, oops?
I dropped the torpedo.
Do we need to be worried?
No, I
You
don't think so.
expected to lift the 2-ton torpedo?
It was propped up weird. I wasn't trying to lift it. It just showed a foul.
Torn, give me a perception check.
Oh, fuck you.
what were you expecting?
Torn, your head ears, horn ears, however your ears work, lizard ears, you can hear while they're all kind of looking to you and past the slight ringing going into the room because of a large metal thud to the ground. Peter, your ears actually ringing a little bit louder than they probably should be. Like, ow, that was significantly loud. You hear a very small whirring behind you, Torn.
Behind? Oh, like a... Huh.
Yeah, I feel like we should leave.
What happened?
Do you hear that whirring noise?
No, all I hear is my tinnitus.
I don't hear anything either. What do you... Are you saying that thing armed?
I don't know, but it's making a noise. I'm leaving.
It is probably time to go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know anything about this,
Them
but
is marching on
I
Atlanta.
don't know.
Go, go, go.
Explosive making noises probably isn't a good thing.
I'm sorry, guys.
I would like all four of you to make me a athletics roll, please.
Oh,
Hell.
fuck, it's over.
Oh hell.
Oh, hell.
Oh god.
Oh, you got stuck.
Orderly, everyone.
Orderly my ass.
Yeah, you can orderly your ass out of the damn ship.
As you all start running, Peter ends up taking lead, with Torn just behind him. Leroy, your boots and Kane are kind of struggling to fully keep up. And Hachu,
sounds
you
that
actually
great.
find yourself getting a little bit choked up in the doorway as you're slithering through it, kind of that panic wriggle to fully get your body through. As you guys get about to this location, about that far, before I would like all four of you again to roll me perception.
Oh, that's better. Okay.
2.
Oh fuck.
9.
Hachu, you're in a panic. You're actually getting, like, stuck in the door now that you're not listening. You're just... you're trying to squirm your way out.
Oh, please.
Jesus.
I'm gonna go out.
Peter, you're not paying that much attention. You realize, okay, something got triggered, something's not good, time to get on out. Torn and Leroy, you do manage to listen back past the squirming, panicking sounds, and the clatter of footsteps and pushing a few things aside here and there.
I don't want to die on the submarine. No, just...
And you can hear that whir. Leroy, you can hear it now too. It's like a little metal... it's like a tiny metal propeller sound whirring away, just sort of almost like an electric razor type of sound, just whirring away, and then you hear it stop very suddenly and very sharp, just click, and you hear a tick, tick,
Dear Gus and Maud.
tick, tick,
Run, boys.
tick,
Run.
tick.
For the love of God!
And as you're continuing making your way, the two of you will still be hearing that tick. And as the four of you all fully exit, you're still hearing that tick, the two of you, as the four of you fully leave out the large hole and scatter yourselves onto the snow and ice outside.
Run to the hills.
Zoop.
Team one, fucking scatter. Team
Everyone
one,
make
fucking
the
scatter now.
athletics at disadvantage.
Oh, fuck.
It's
I
so
hate you
it's
so much.
so over. It's so over.
Oh my god.
What?
God. What?
Having a
Ice
good
skating.
Having
This is
a
some great
good time.
bullshit.
Fuck you.
Hey Hachu, where's your
I got it.
disadvantage athletics, buddy?
Oh hell.
Oh,
God.
yeah. Well, Peter's used to running on ice and snow in a combat situation. This is no different. So Peter, you get pretty far ahead, running towards the Sneller guys, waving a hand, telling the other two to like get to cover, get low. Hachu, you're slip and sliding, and as you hit the blood, you actually fully spin out and just come to a puddle. And you're fully sprawled out on the ground.
He's drifting like a sidewinder.
Torin, your claws, you're trying to dig them into the fucking ice with your bare feet to like give you more traction, and you end up just digging your claws a little too deep, and you're starting to actually slow yourself, and then you're just tripping up on the ice trying to walk on bare feet as you slide on your chest a few feet and end about there. Leroy, you make it a little bit past Torn before the smooth bottom of your cowboy boots slip underneath you, and you land plumb on your butt and just kind of slide for a moment like, ow. Everybody give me a perception check, please.
We gotta drag this out.
Hey,
Damn.
Oh, that's disadvantage.
I'm really good at seeing things and really bad
Hell
at running
yeah.
away.
Can I take the 20?
Yeah, you can take the 20. Turn off the advantage disadvantage though, but yeah.
It's not natural, but
Everybody rolled high enough that as you're all squirming or falling down or panicking, trying to run for
has it
cover. Oh, there it is.
Alright.
I'll take
Hey.
it. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
still passes. As you guys are running along or squirming or sliding across the ice or falling on your ass, all of you kind of look back simultaneously, expecting to see an explosion, expecting the ice to start crumbling and cracking underneath you. And nothing happens from it. And you're all kind of frozen for a half second, then a second. 3 seconds go by. 5 seconds go by, where it's just long enough where it's like, maybe if I had gotten up 2 seconds ago, I could have kept running and maybe I'll survive this. But it's too late now, but now that I'm debating about it, now it's been 8 seconds, it's been 10... Okay, it's been 12 seconds. Is this actually going to go off? Torpedoes have a good range, but it's not... Okay, why is it not going off? And you're all just kind of questioning, where's the kaboom? Torrin,
We're supposed to be
from
shot
your
right.
low position and a nat 20, somehow, I'm assuming maybe it's because the side of your head is to the ice and it works as an amazing sound conductor. You can hear all the cracks and sounds of footsteps and Hachu's heartbeat as he's sliding across the ice. And you can hear all the crackles of it. And inside the sub, you hear that whirring transferring through the metal into the ice. And the whirring is very, very slow now. It's a wah, 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 like barely spinning at all. And you're hearing that tick still, almost like an igniter ticking. And it's just tick, 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 tick.
Oh. False alarm.
Tick. And
What?
it goes fully silent as the spinner stops and the igniter and fuse stops attempting to go off, and the sub is now entirely quiet once again.
False alarm.
You say that now.
Sorry.
False alarm. Are you serious?
Yes.
Yep. I think I say this for my fellow Southerner. Fuck that propeller.
Sorry, I'm not
No.
gonna do it again.
Thorin, I think we should still try and get the propeller.
No, there's an armed torpedo in the back of this submarine.
I think it might still be worth it.
I'll help with that in a minute. I'm gonna go get the hat first.
I'm going to wait out here. Good luck.
Are you just
You're just gonna
going
leave
from
Torn to
sail?
go by himself? Oh. Oh, you'd like to enter from the sail?
That seems slightly safer.
Yeah, you'll have to make your way over. There's a sort of a ladder going up the side that you can kind of put your hands into and climb your way on up.
I'll come up. I'm not gonna let him go all the way alone. As much as I don't want to be fucking with this, I want to get the propeller and get out.
Hachu and Leroy getting up from your icy positions. What are you guys up to?
I'm not chancing another. Yeah.
You gonna go hang out with the other two?
Yeah.
Alright. Gets up, dusts
Just
yourself off, and kind of walks your way on over.
It's
Fuck
like in
that.
it's like in the damn Street Fighter movie. At the end of it, they got that one guy who's just walking away while other guy's just giving his speech. He's just slowly walking away out of the room. Like, yeah, we lost this. I'm leaving.
Hachu, what are you up to?
I will go back in the submarine and go this
Alright.
way. They go not towards the torpedoes.
So you're
Yo,
at
this-
the hole.
Two
Let
of
me
them for a
bring
second.
these two up to the, as you guys climb down, you can see where the old weld mark was that was cut open nicely. And you're able to climb away down the ladder into the, kind of command room.
Before we go all the way down, I'm gonna look around inside the sail for anything
Yeah,
of use.
Other than the radio and what seems to be some manual, like, periscope equipment and horizon, adjustment, whatever those big sea binoculars are that you can look at the horizon and measure stuff with. Other than some basic nautical equipment and where the radio used to be that is now in Wilhelm's backpack, there's nothing else up in the tower.
Okay. Yes, we're gonna come down and look around.
No, Torrent's gonna be like, Peter, wait! He's gonna grab the periscope handles.
Oh.
And he's gonna turn them towards Leroy.
Give me a dexterity check, Thor.
It's a periscope. You don't need a dex check on a periscope.
Reaching them, maybe.
Baby grabby hands and two little bunny hops aren't quite enough to get your claws on the handles to pull it down.
All right. I'll help him up.
Picking up like a damn toddler to reach the fucking handlebars.
I just like you to know, in these old U-boats, they had to squat down to see the periscope, so he should be perfectly fitting for it.
Actually, you do make a good point. But I also really like the visual gag of you holding him by the waist like a 10-year-old while they lean in and look at it.
Lift. Up to the periscope.
Yeah, he lifts you up, you get the periscope, and you can rotate it around and look. You said you're looking at Leroy?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Leroy. Gonna see if he's a booger eater or something.
Leroy, give me a perception roll at disadvantage.
What does it have to be? What? The fuck?
Well, you're hanging out. You got a cigar in your mouth. Scratching the back of your head. Is there anything in particular that you might do in private when the other two aren't looking?
Sob inconsolably.
Nothing I care to admit in mixed company, sir.
Well, you're not in company. Those two got their head down, and you got snow and some air blowing past you. You know the others are in the U-boat. Nobody's watching you. So what are you doing for those moments?
I am jacking off in the cold because who else is gonna say that they masturbated in Antarctica?
No, please no, please don't actually.
Hey, wait a minute.
No, you can't see. He's off in his own little crevasse in the snow,
Man,
and we
I
can
don't-
only see him
you know
through
what?
the periscope.
I can RP
You know
this.
what?
I can
You know-
mute my headset.
Oh god.
You know what you're about to do to the ecosystem there?
He said he's gonna fuck it.
introducing- I'm introducing non-native proteins to the environment.
Oh.
Have been found an ungodly amount of things that are dormant there, and you're going to give life to them consequentially.
This is a joke, right?
There's already been a Snallygaster. There's already been a Snallygaster. Well, who said it? Who?
I really doubt
who was
Leroy's
joking?
sitting there whacking off in the middle of a slight snowstorm blizzard.
What kind of maniac does that?
He's staring into the wind too as he does it. Just
Is there a role I can do? Sleight of hand.
You got a dexterity
No,
roll for the dick slapping.
so to the to the
Or is it survival?
Here it is. To the two with their head down, they don't notice it.
No.
However,
Performance.
Torin, as you rotate the periscope around, you see Leroy, who's normally very much a gentleman who can do the, the leg cock and 2 or 3 steps to adjust because it's cold. He's just unceremoniously reaching, hand not even in pocket, and just doing full-on adjustment to the cold, barehanded, indiscriminately.
Torin's just gonna snap the fucking periscope back up and turn away and quickly go down the ladder without saying anything to Peter.
Honestly, out of curiosity, I'm gonna look.
What did you see? What did you see?
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna, look up to the periscope.
Give
Do I need
me
to roll for it?
I need you to give me a history roll.
A history roll.
Yep. You remember roughly what angle it was he was looking at?
You
Oh,
really
no.
don't. You really,
So you hop on,
going at the wrong.
And you
I'm
rotate
telling
the
you right now.
periscope roughly to where you think you're like, oh, he was looking at Leroy and them dissecting the Stellargeist. And you see the end half of Leroy barehanded, no pocket discipline, no public decency, because you're in Antarctica. Who cares? Who's looking? It's the one time he's not being a gentleman. Just full both balls and dick adjustment outside of the pants, because it's uncomfortable. Just giving that slight squat, because it's just bunched up. Just
Let it be known that many a gentleman in British society, and since the South emulates British society, many a gentleman was known for having some rather
He's got the fucking hip
perverse
waggle.
behaviors.
You ever wear dress pants and you get a bunch and you're like, oh, you gotta reach in your pocket and be a gentleman about it, or make it look like you're taking extra long strides. Nah.
Oh my god,
Nah.
you quite literally had to put that hip waggle in my mind. Now I can't get it.
Yeah.
Like a half lot hip waggle, one hand.
Everybody here knows the one-handed hip waggle. You didn't have the decency for that this time because nobody was looking at you, so why would you need to do that? So you're just full hand adjusting, thinking nobody's looking. Except Peter is now looking. Peter, how do you react?
I'm just gonna, pretty much do what Torin did. Not say anything and go down the ladder to the lower deck.
Torin's gonna look back at him, and they're gonna have a second of awkward eye contact.
You're like, yeah, just like, huh?
A lot of dead bodies down here.
Yeah.
Let us start with their sleeping arrangements. See if we can find crew lockers and such.
I'll stay away from the dark
shit.
Very volatile balls. I mean, fuse.
I'm already on the verge of needing an oxygen machine. Stop laughing.
Laughter's the best medicine, don't you know?
Not for COVID.
It's actually killing him.
Ow.
Arizona man dies from laughter.
Dies from laughter because his party is a bunch of fucking chuckle nuts who have to adjust their balls in the Antarctic.
Look, it's important, all right?
He's gonna turn around and see the periscope fucking pointed right at him.
Man, talk about a stiff hand, right?
Nah, you failed the perception, so he thought nobody was watching him. He's just like, I'll take a moment to do this.
I like the idea that if he'd seen us, he would have had his hand like halfway down his pants and just slowly withdrawn it.
Slowly withdrawn, pretended he was doing something else. Take his hat off, be like, oh yeah, get the dust off my hat.
Yeah, he's definitely dusting his hat. That's for damn sure.
Leroy just had a near-death experience after fighting a mythical beast.
Yeah.
And he just needs to relieve some stress.
His pants got a little bunched, and he just has to unbunch himself. He has to.
Well, at least it won't be that much of a difference in color between the rest of the continent.
Things have never seen the light of day.
Oh Jesus! Oh no! Oh no!
Hachu, as you make your way. Hachu, as you make your way through the big old breach in the side.
No.
God damn it! No die. As you make your way back inside, you can see where you guys made a little panic, and you can see the semi-half-armed torpedo sitting there now as a dud, realizing, oh, yeah, I guess it didn't go off. That's cool. That's happy. As you turn and you look over, and you see your two friends, Peter and Torin, sitting there, looking disillusioned for half a second to each other before they look and start walking their way to the crew quarters in the next room, and they start digging their way through some of the cabinets and whatnot.
What do you want for us on that?
Investigation from you two.
Maybe we can find a non-bunching pair of underwear for Leroy.
Apparently not.
As you guys start digging through the foot lockers and trying to go underneath the little beds that are set up along the wall too high, yeah, you don't actually find anything of significance or importance. There's almost no personal effects for items here. It's all uniforms, a couple extra pairs of boots, what seems to be 2 or 3 more sets of webbing gear with very minimal attachments or parts to them, like a shovel, well, rather the shovel case, a canteen, one pouch for a couple stripper clips of ammo. But other than that, nothing of significance here. No gear, no uniforms of importance, nothing of that sort.
Alright, we'll go on to CIC.
Alright.
Unless Torin has something to say.
No, nothing to say. We didn't go into the furthest part of this submarine. You know, the part that the terrible eldritch monster was hiding in.
Was it hiding in the bow?
I presumed it was.
Assumedly.
Did it burst out of the bow? I can't remember. For some reason, I thought it was in the sail.
Either sail or it was somewhere frontish.
It wasn't in the cell because you guys with Wilhelm did super laser heat torch the hatch open and realized that's where some of the good equipment was, but there was nothing up there.
Alright, so let's take our time to search CIC first on our way up.
Alrighty.
Combat Information Center.
Alright.
Yeah. Command and control. Hachu, what are you up to as they start walking their way up?
I'm guessing I'm walking that way too, because that's originally where I meant to go before we got distracted by something else.
The three of you give me investigation.
Investigation,
Oh, God.
these nuts. 2. Ah, worse.
Actually worse.
My heart hurts.
I'm not gonna lie, I deserve that.
Yeah. My heart hurts.
Snake
You get
clutch.
that for making me describe that. Yeah,
I
Torin and
didn't make you
Peter,
describe it. That was Torin.
you two are a bit, I'll say, disheveled still, as you're kind of looking over. You're not quite sure. Normally you know what you're looking for, but you're like, maybe something will stick out. Maybe there's something here. Papers, anything? Nothing? Shit.
There's an after image of a fucking cowboy doing a ball scratch squat on his eyes.
Torin, look! They have Tekken!
Shut.
It's called the Southern Hello, don't you know? Come on. You gotta reach out and grab the balls just for give him a nice little tug just to join the military.
Why are you talking about balls? I didn't say anything about balls.
Not you. Not being disillusioned, you slither your way through past the both of them as they're kind of looking over, but not really sure exactly what they're looking at or for. And for some reason, you're able to kind of pinpoint exactly. You're like, well, there's a map or two. Oh, there's a chart as well. There's another map. Specifically one that both Wilhelm and Leroy had spotted before, but because neither of them are in here at the moment, you guys have rediscovered them. There's a big old map on the wall here with, excuse me, various amount of string chart and tacks put in it, which is kind of different and unusual for most nautical maps. They usually don't mark their path, especially for a U-boat. However, when you look at it, it seems to leave northern Germany, make its way up and through that little crevice in Denmark, that strait, around, and it takes the long way
Go through the
north.
canal.
No. It goes north of Scotland and around the far side of Ireland, and instead of following the European coast, goes pretty far out and very, very close to the Bermuda Islands before jutting its way southward, continuing down until it hits, and the pinpoint doesn't seem to be too accurate, but it looks like it's landing somewhere in or around what used to be West German Africa, or current day, what country is that?
Namibia.
Not Numidia, no.
No, Namibia.
Namibia.
Or maybe Mozambique.
Which one?
Current day Angola, however, 1930s, like modern day Angola, however, 1936. I believe that is Portuguese Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
It would be, yes. It would be. You would be correct about that.
Hachu, do you point this map out to the rest of the class?
Well,
Do you share your discoveries with the class?
Yeah, after y'all's ball-looking adventure, oh, my character doesn't know that, but he just has knowledge of it happening.
You're right. It is Portuguese Angola. Makes a little tack stop there along its coast, and then juts straight down. And the last pin is in between the Falklands and Deception Island, roughly.
All right. Well, hey, I got a map over here, and I just bring them the map.
We'll just kind of take it off the wall.
Yeah.
Wait, but no, you'll destroy the push pins.
It's in
There's
sort of like a corkboard.
Who cares
of
about
sorts.
the push pins? There's
It's
an armed torpedo on the other side of it.
Take the whole corkboard. We're going to go further forward and see what else we can find.
All right. I just carrying an actual corkboard.
You just carried a whole map-sized corkboard on your side.
Yeah.
Just under your arm, just doo-doo-doo. However, as you guys are looking around, other than the map that seems to chart maybe the U-boat's path or something else, there's nothing else really of importance or significance in here. It seems everything's either wiped, turned off, or been scavenged.
All
But
right. Well,
as you guys
let's move on, then.
kind of bunch up, almost like Leroy, to the next door, you can tell this door is no longer closed, or at least it wasn't closed. It is now slightly ajar, where it seems as though... I'll let you guys roll an investigation, actually.
How can the door be slightly ajar? It's a door.
Yeah, but it's kind of like shaped like a mason jar.
Oh, no,
okay,
tell
I
that
see.
to dashboards when they say door ajar. So.
Sorry, what was that roll?
Investigation.
Yeah, investigation. Yeah, I'll take
Hey!
it.
So everyone's pretty well able to tell. This door, it's one of those nice kind of ovalish ones like the previous ones you've been passing through. Yeah, the door is... I guess I need to simplify the words. It's off its hinges, but it's still sitting in the door frame, slightly rotated to where it looks like, at first glance, oh, okay, it was just left like an inch or two open. But as you get closer, as you all approach it, you realize it was kind of haphazardly slid back into the frame rather quickly. Torin rolled one high enough to realize two very dry kind of grip marks that have almost worn away at the metal that you are now familiar with being from the tendrils from the Snellergeist being capable of doing, are wrapped around the edges of this door from your guys' side.
Well, I think some guys got dragged into here.
Well, that's a pleasant way to go out.
Yeah, Peter, you open it.
I will see if I can.
I'll help you with it.
Oh, apparently Torin gets priority over me, so now I am inside him. There we go.
Oh no.
He's what?
I'm assuming this is.
Gonna go.
I'm assuming this is gonna. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Wow,
It's like
wow,
those. It's like
wow.
it's like those episodes of vaguely sci-fi sitcoms where they always shrink down and go to fight cancer or something inside the body of someone?
School bus.
Hey,
Remember that episode of
episode was dope. All right.
Remember that episode of Wondrous Company where Torin's sister tagged along and he was so pissed off with her shit that he killed himself in space by taking his helmet off?
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I do.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farms remembers.
God remembers. That's what was more important.
Pepperidge Farm was a Mr. Pepperidge himself was a time traveler.
I guess we're gonna look around in here, see what we can see.
As the three of you step in, give me perception. Hey, not
Where's
bad.
the letter P?
Next to the Q. Damn,
There's
okay.
no Q on this paper!
As the three of you enter, very quickly you realize, oh, supply, storage, very cool. Various, additional equipment, and it seems a little bit, I guess the best way to put it, it's a little, haphazardly and quickly assembled and put together, because you could tell none of the equipment, shelves, and racks were actually meant to ever be in a U-boat. In fact, this room should be kind of used for engineering. However, it seems whatever pockets and corners they had available, they put various shelves and racks for storage. And there's a couple crates, there's some containers, there's some various information that seems to be inside stacks of paperwork. And very quickly, all three of you are able to realize this is where a majority of the missing paperwork that seemed to be almost like dust square missing from the Schwabenland, this seems to be where it ended up. A lot of paperwork, a lot of binders full of stuff just stacked up in all different corners, a couple crates, a couple metal canisters of what you can assume to be various research materials or perhaps chunks of ice or water, tons of different stuff for various purposes. And as you look ahead, you can see where a lot of damage was done by something moving very rapidly through here and smacking into the door. As you get to the other side of the door, having pushed it open a little ways, you can see where it is on barely half a hinge. The other hinges are completely just shattered and splintered off, and you can see the little wraps from the tendrils, the parts where the metal was deformed and kind of ripped at, where if you had to take a guess, the tendrils grabbed at the door from this side, ripped it nearly off the hinges, and then reached around the edges and closed it behind itself once it passed through the door.
Weirdly courteous.
However, as you look across, you do see the remainder of the room, where you see one body sitting there. More so slumped there. And next to him is another bulkhead door completely ripped open, literally gashes at any... It's supposed to be rounded, but the fact that it looks more like a trapezoid after the damage and stretching and parts that it took from these tendrils that seem to have above superhuman capacity to break and malform different objects and items. Yeah, it seems like it ripped its way out of what should be the room in between the the very front room is, or at least was, the torpedo room, and it seems as though it got turned into last minute panicking storage room.
Well, this is a mess.
Well, Here's all that,
papers, so I guess it's time to look through those.
Say,
yeah.
collect anything that's paper and put it in a box.
As you guys start
I
looking
hope you like
over
being
the,
secretaries. Here we
start
go.
looking over the paperwork, and there's no real part of it that isn't worth or not worth grabbing. As you're looking through it, you're realizing the bulk majority of it is in fact just straight up research and findings and various documentation of voyages, water densities, salt densities, ice composition, snow drift, wind patterns. Some of these findings seem to kind of jive with a lot of the photos you were finding, almost parallel to them.
Someone who specializes in this would really appreciate having all of this information.
I'm sure.
Yeah, Cora's gonna start gathering up papers, just picking up all the papers.
Alright. There's not too much, but there's enough that it starts to become cumbersome kind of quickly. As you guys are collecting this, Hachu, as you're kind of making your way towards the back of the room, you see that body that was kind of slumped in the corner next to the ripped open door that leads to the front torpedo room. As you look to it, yeah, the body has unfortunately been given the twisty treatment. But actually, I want you to give me investigation, Hachu.
Okay. Hey.
As you approach this body and kind of look to it, obviously head has been just short of screwed off like a twist off bottle cap. The arms were given the same usual twisted treatment at the joints. The middle of the torso has multiple lacerations and tears, the usual that the Sneller guy seems to inflict on people. Upon looking at him, though, you realize what's left of it. He does seem to be wearing a sort of, or at least was wearing, a heavier kind of leather jacket with a kind of fuzzied collar around it. And did seem to have what looked like a iron cross around his neck, like a necklace of sorts. And is wearing, albeit a little bit blood splattered on the left side, a kind of floppy, sort of aged, dirty, looks like kind of naval officer's hat with the nice flopped edges. It seems like it's had a lot of wear and tear over years. And the way he's laying there, more so sitting rather, I guess, yeah, I'm gonna stick with schlumped. Schlumped is kind of the best way. It looks like he would normally be leaning back into the corner next to the door, but the way he's leaning back kind of implies that there's a second joint in the middle of his back where there shouldn't be, the way that he's kind of pressed down into the corner. But he's laying out there, legs fully outstretched, both arms fully outstretched. And what you can see in his right hand is a little wooden box, about 1 by 1 by 1 inch.
Okay. Little wooden box. What? I'm gonna open that box. Oh, right before I opened that box, I said, "Hey, that's all. I got a hat for you."
Who is that? The captain?
I just
think
hand
it was.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know ranks of these guys. I have no idea. He doesn't know either. So. It's a hat that is military.
See if I know.
I don't think you ever had an encounter with the Navy, but we'll roll with it.
You know what? They slap scrambled eggs on hats. I can tell he's big time officer.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's got some scrambled eggs on the front. It's got the nice band around the side. Torn, you get this
Definitely a
hat.
senior officer.
It's flumpy white hat, but it looks kind of cool.
There's blood on it.
A little bit of blood on the side. Peter, you look at it. Oh yeah, this is definitely German naval officer's hat. This guy seems to assumingly be the rank of a captain. This one's got the really nice. It's got the really nice design of the red symbol in the middle of a yellow, with a black sort of trim around it. It's got the nice ornate leaf clusters going to either side. It's got the full like German U-boat captain's design to it. But this thing is very worn. He's been doing this for a while, and assumedly he's had the same cap since he's been starting to do it. Assumedly a good couple of years.
Looks like he also fought in the last war.
I got my hat. I'm good.
I'm gonna do a little last rites thing on him and take one of his dog tags.
As you kneel down and start to do the last rites, as you're halfway through it, you grab the dog tag and you rip it off. And as you get about halfway through, you pause for a moment because it feels like you're just reciting it. As you try to focus again and you realize, much like many of the other crew of the Schwabenland, there's nothing here to provide last rites on.
I'm still gonna go through with it anyway.
Alright.
I feel like it's still the right thing to do.
You'll follow through with it and do finish the last rites and give it a nice send-off.
As we leave, I'll go through and do that to the rest of the crew that are in here as well.
There is 4 other bodies back near the breach. What's left of them. However, of course, all of them, as you kind of approach closer and start to do your last rites, you realize very quickly there is also nothing there, unfortunately, to provide last rites to.
Again, I still feel like the ceremony alone is worth it.
Yeah.
A little something for these guys that they're probably not going to get otherwise.
While we're at it, I'll toss in in-game images. Your new hat.
Hey, it's the hat you found. Man, looks like somebody kind of left it somewhere for a really long time.
You now have 2 of them.
Well, this one I have 2 of those?
You also took the captain of the Schwabenland's hat.
Oh yeah, but that's a slightly different hat.
That's a more civilian type hat, but yeah. Civilian Navy.
TF2 player.
He is becoming a TF2 player. I love it.
He's running around with 3 hats and an elven German fucking Stahlhelm in his fucking bag.
He's got hats.
I just imagine you're holding the Stahlhelm via the chin strap like it's a basket, and that's what you've been putting all this stuff in.
It's just hanging off his hip like a canteen.
Yes.
No. He's got it slung over his arm like a flower girl.
Oh my god.
But he's just stuffing hats and papers into it.
Considering how big it would be on him, you could assumably put the chin strap at the max length and like let it hang on your back like a sun hat while the strap's around your neck. It's like a turtle shell.
And he's got a collection of hats. I have a collection of odd magical items.
We should see if we can get the anti-aircraft gun before we leave as well.
That's a big gun. Would it fit in the plane?
I mean, it's probably not. It's probably another machine gun. In this era, at best, it's a 20 mil. It's not like we need to steal more than a single round of ammunition.
We already have 7 people in this plane.
And we're also trying to take a propeller, too.
And trying to take us a... How big is that freaking plane? I need to know now. What kind of
overweight takeoff?
I posted some pictures of it. It's a good-sized plane, but you guys were already mega cramped without an additional man.
Oh, it's gonna be cramped as hell, but I think the intel is worth the try. We can at least,
Yeah, we can take the intel, but
Try
the
it.
whole fucking propeller. Like,
Well, the ship needs a propeller, doesn't it?
They're trying to
where are we
fabricate
gonna
one.
put the propeller? Oh, where?
We'll tackle that in a little bit.
Well, yeah, we'll hang it off the bottom or something. I don't
Oh
know.
god. We'll tackle that in a little bit. As you guys are looking this over, you collect your new hat. It's got a little bit of blood on the side of it, but seems this captain was assumedly the last one alive on board the ship. What's kind of odd is the bodies further back and the bodies outside seem like they've been dead a lot longer than the captain has. With that investigation, Hachu, especially with your attunement with undeath and various forms of necromancy, actually, roll me Arcana, Hachu, and see if you can actually kind of pinpoint and taste the air and figure out exactly how long it's been.
Licking my tongue out. Raspberries.
Make sure you do it in the captain's ear.
Oh.
I don't think he has one left.
Pick a hole, any hole. Be like your fellow
No, I
southerner.
can't.
Hachu kind of flits his tongue a few times, and you're able to get a general idea that all the ones outside died, at least a few hours ago, but you can't tell exactly, but it seems like the captain died quite recently.
All right. Well, interesting. It looks like he's only been dead for, I don't know, like maybe a few days. He didn't die that long ago.
Quite recently, as in like less than an hour, not a few days.
Oh, that recently. Okay.
Man, we really were close, weren't we?
Well, hell, not even days, maybe 2 days. Look, he may have died just a few hour or so ago.
Poke him. Is he frozen?
You can
He's more than
Make
frozen.
it in time.
You don't really have to poke him. You can tell, actually, rather, compared to a lot of the other bodies that you've seen so far, rather squishy and fresh, unfortunately. Compared to the raisins and the freeze-dried people you have met so far.
Yeah.
What's that? Hachu, what's in the box?
Oh, I was gonna open the box, but then we started looking at the body.
Grab the little,
What's in the box? Come
little-
on!
Do it an autopsy.
the, little wooden cube.
When you see it here, the body.
Yeah, give it a flip open.
Alright, yep, open the box.
As you open it up, it flicks open, and there is a little kind of pillow cushion in the bottom of it. And I want you to roll me perception, Hachu.
It was a trap. We're all going to die.
It was a bomb.
It was a mimic.
As you look at this little box, you can see where there's a kind of pillow cushion in the bottom of it and kind of a velvet lining inside it. And where there's like a little kind of crevice for like a ring or some jewelry to go into, there's nothing there. As your eyes kind of widen for a half moment and not really focusing on anything, you kind of are looking down towards the body while you're holding this up in your hand. And you can see for a half moment a tiny glimmer. Your eyes kind of refocus, and you can see about 2 feet away to the side, outside of his reach, there is a small little wedding band. Very simple, basic silver band with a single gem in the top of it laying there on the floor.
Oh. I mean, I'm not really the sentimental type, but damn.
Perhaps we should leave that with him.
Yeah, that'd be best. And I just kind of set it on his lap, I guess, whatever's left of it.
Yeah, the little wooden cube, or
Yeah, the cube.
you kind of take the little small flip box and we'll set it down there.
I probably should close it too. That'd be better.
Put the ring back in there and then close it.
I don't think I'd take it out. I thought I just saw it on there.
Oh, he said the ring was on the ground.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the ring was just outside his reach on the floor.
Yeah, I'll pick up the ring and put it and just set it on him.
Alrighty. Yeah, you're able to set it there kind of nicely and leave that with them as you're all able to back up a little bit and kind of turn your attention a little bit to the not fully modeled here, because you guys were never actually supposed to get that far. The front torpedo room. Looking inside, takes not even really much of a glance. 4 empty torpedo tubes. No extra torpedoes on the racks beside. They fired all, assumedly 6 torpedoes that they had at some point in time, and were assumedly in the process of bringing the rear torpedoes and the reserves to the front. Likely well surfaced in this lake. At least that was their plan, it seems. However, looking inside here, there is a lot of those slight dents and lacerations and kind of tearing at the metal on the ceiling and on the opposite side of this door and on this doorway. However, anybody who actually decides to step into the room, I want you to give me an investigation.
Oh, now you got my curiosity.
Nope.
Oh.
This is the sub that tried to sink us, isn't it?
Oh, thank God.
Probably one of them.
Kind of looking at it, you get the notion they usually won't let themselves float around for very long without at least some torpedoes in the front, so these ones were fired off pretty recently. Probably assume they were ones that were fired at you. However, as you're looking around, Thorin and Peter, you're kind of focusing on the empty torpedo tubes and wondering perhaps how many torpedoes this may have been able to carry maximum, since there's only 4 there's only 4 tubes to actually launch out of. It looks like there's 2 racks to hold 2 additional ones beside it. Hachu, you kind of focus on the corner on the opposite side of the door, where you can see all the tear marks and all the scratches and sort of bite and kind of gripping parts on this side of the door, like something was trying to break through or reach through. And you can see as you look at some of the little racks there for the 2 larger racks for the spare or auxiliary torpedoes to be loaded, just underneath it in the kind of corner of the floor and the wall is a weird kind of viscous, blobby, almost like a spittle type mix of fluids just kind of bubbled up in the corner and kind of spread out and mixed in with what seems to be some scratching away at the metal. Almost like a little cavity was made and a bunch of what looks like kind of gloopy spit material was filled into it.
Maybe we should set off that torpedo.
I'll be honest. I don't know what that is.
What?
That's something freaky. Look at the. I point out the corner.
Can I history or arcana on that?
You can.
Man,
nature, actually. Fuck. Oh man, I was hoping maybe he didn't
make a nature roll.
I was hoping maybe he didn't read that many butterfly books, but I
read all the butterfly books, motherfucker.
every
All this
butterfly.
motherfucker's ever done is read a book.
And
That's all he
dinosaur.
does is read books. That's what he does.
That's not what he does anymore.
From age 7 to
Right,
age 9,
talks
he
to
had a
books now
dinosaur
because
phase.
they couldn't respond to him.
Oh god, yeah.
How could a dinosaur have a dinosaur face?
The first book he can talk back to annoys him unequivocally.
And then he hugs it. Yeah, as you kind of lean forward and look at this, it's kind of bubbled and bulged out at a certain point, and it looks like it was kind of haphazardly and quickly, just for lack of better words, spat over and quickly coated. But it seems like there's a almost bowling ball in size object underneath this sort of cocoon. And as you lean in, you realize very quickly this is a very kind of gelatinous, goopy, able to take impact and kind of relegate heat as it needs to and resist a lot of elements, kind of a goopy chitinous material to protect what you can only assume to be based upon the fact it was put into a cavity that was forcibly pushed into the metal. Assumably it's about a bowling ball sized egg. Or it likes to keep heads in goop.
Does anybody want the Schnellergeist egg?
I'm gonna take my bayonet out and I'm just gonna try and stab it.
Yeah, I take the bayonet I was given out and just start fucking going around at it.
I'd like both of you to roll me an attack.
No.
I'm not, like, aggressively stabbing at it. I'm gently, taking it and pushing the blade in.
You go to stab and you give it a little bit of a jolt, and you don't really stab where the slightly larger bulb is. You stab a bit to the side of it, and you can hear the end of your blade hit metal as it stabs through it. Peter, though, you take your bayonet on the end of your rifle, and you give it a nice little slow thrust forward to try to poke it and then press through. And you can feel it make contact with the sort of goopy, chitinous outer layer. And it digs about half an inch to an inch to about 2 inches deep. And then you feel it impact. And it... Have you ever tried to push a finger against, like, something really goopy and, like, no matter what, it's always deflecting to one side or the other? Like, you can never really push straight forward because it's constantly moving one way or somehow. The bayonet's kind of doing that and moving your rifle as you're like trying to press. It's going to the right and you're raising back and trying to press in again, and it's kind of veering to the left. Whatever's underneath the goop is kind of, the surface of it is really good at deflecting sharp objects.
Still alive?
Of course I'm still alive. It is an egg, not a bomb.
Oh man, I can't stab shit with this.
It is very hard.
Well, wanna try it again?
I do not think we will be able to get through. Do you have any magics that could perhaps do something?
I mean, probably, as I hold up a grenade.
Do you really want to set off a grenade in a submarine with a hot torpedo?
I mean, it sounds submarine.
Before you do that, would you please wait until I leave the submarine?
Yeah, I'll hit it with some magic. Killjoy. Alright.
How are you gonna clear the cocoon here?
While he tries to do that, can I convince Torin to help me try and steal the anti-aircraft gun?
Oh, bro. Make fun of Torn for stealing everything. Gotta keep freaking Peter away from
I will say
anything
this
naval related.
as the DM.
Naval related.
I will say this as the DM. There's no way, reasonably, with the resources available, you guys will be able to unbolt and take an entire short-barreled 88 with you.
No, not the deck gun. Like the 20mm autocannon for anti-aircraft work exclusively.
You think this one has the autocannon on the backside?
Well, I had the place for it, didn't it?
Has the placement for it, but it's not on there. This one just has the regular 88 on the front, and that's it.
Bah. Alright.
On to you. So how are you going to try to clear out this cocoon here, Hachu, to get to the egg?
I'm hit it with Toll of the Dead.
Okay.
What? I gotta double down, right? Look, knives don't kill it. I just gotta double down, triple down to make sure it's dead.
Alright, yeah. Cast Toll of the Dead for me.
I believe I just put right that, and then I think it's, I don't know. It probably doesn't have any missing hit points. Does it? Does the egg have any missing hit points?
It has no missing hit points. So as you cast this on the what you assume to be the egg underneath all of this kind of gooey chitinous material, this cocoon that it's in, a loud bell sounds out and it echoes through the entire U-boat, and it almost kind of hurts for a moment before you see a little bit of a kind of wiggle and warble underneath the chitinous goop that kind of continues motioning for about 2-3 seconds and then comes to a stop.
What did you do?
Well, something started wiggling and then it stopped after I casted that.
Is it?
Perhaps the grenade is not such a bad idea.
Does anyone have a long string?
Well, I got
Can
more
we find
magic
a
if you want to keep me going. I mean,
Can we find a long string in this supply room?
Oh yeah,
Look,
you can easily find a long string somewhere.
Can we rig up a long string so that we can detonate it from outside the sub?
Look, I could throw some cards at it. I can I can talk to it if you want.
You really are Gambit, aren't you?
I was hoping no one would pick up. Yeah, would you like to hit it with another spell, or would you guys like to start working on your long-ranged IED via string in a cup?
I can spit poison at it to dissolve it.
You
I
could.
can keep going.
If you want to, go for it.
Whatever you think
these
is
are
best.
cantrips, so it won't cost me anything. So.
Peter and Torin like leaning around the edges of this door watching the snake do a bunch of fucking shit.
He's just doing a bunch of magic tricks. She's just like pulling out a fucking rabbit.
Go
in the
for it,
hat in front
Hachu.
of it and, like...
He pulls out a rabbit in a hat. Wait, no.
No, that's... Oh, wait a minute.
What do you hit it with next, Achu?
Poison spray.
Ah, okay.
Damn!
You kind of
God!
arc your head out, and almost like you're throwing
Gotta
like
give it that
venom. It
Yeah.
sprays over it, and the cocoon starts to sizzle and kind of bubble and melt away until you hear a small, kind of heavy medicine ball thud on the deck of the ship, and it rolls in front of you and comes to a stop. About bowling ball sized, very smooth, matte black kind of ball of sorts. It's not really retaining a ball shape, but it's just kind of...
Not an egg.
It's just kind of a very heavy, dense kind of gel form. but about bowling ball size to sit in front of you now, having fallen out of the dissolved cocoon.
Well, I got one of them like beach ball things right here in front of me now.
A what?
I don't know, it just kind of rolled out.
Try stabbing it now.
All right.
Give me a bayonet attack.
Oh my god. I should just not use them, apparently.
He kind of raises a hand up with the bayonet in hand, switches it to the lower guard, and will swing his hand down, kind of hammer fist style, to stab it. The blade will catch it on the kind of left side, and you'll see it dent inwards, and then kind of warble and roll itself as the blade moves along a crevice and is deflected to the side and hits the deck of the ship as it kind of wiggles a little bit in place.
What the hell? That's weird. And,
do we have any
like
idea what these things are
deflected
weak to besides 303?
Torin's just gonna pick it up.
Thorn, as
I
you
do not want to
reach
bring that
over
back.
to pick it up, you kind of put your hands on either side of it. It's like picking up a bowling ball made out of Jell-O. Like, imagine if Jell-O could hold the density and strength to stay in one piece, but imagine picking up a 12-pound bowling ball of Jell-O material. It feels like that in your hand. It's warbly and squishy, and you can kind of medicine ball, like, kind of squish it, but it's a weird gelatinous egg that seems pretty damn impervious to a lot of things.
He's turning it over, examining it.
This is really interesting, actually.
I do not want to take one of these things back with us. I think that was definitely a mistake that the Germans made.
Yeah, I agree. I wish I didn't agree, but I do agree. There's a reason they tried to... Why did they try to let it go out here instead of just, killing it?
I'm not sure that they did.
Why was it on their ship?
That I am not sure about as well. Perhaps the answer is found in some of those papers we collected. Perhaps we will never know.
Can I roll Arcana on this? Maybe try and figure out what it might not like.
I was gonna roll nat 20 on nature for it again.
Yeah.
Because it was in Weird Antiquities and Fascinating Creatures Encyclopedia number 582.
Yeah. Roll me nature on this one.
14.
Well, you have never ever read about the mating habits or rituals of something that was rumored to not exist anymore, or whether it was mammalian or egg laying. So this is kind of new to you, let alone kind of new to humanity, really. However, looking at this egg and how it's kind of jellyish, it's almost like a fish egg, but much, much sturdier and protective. A whole lot more protective, but kind of like a fish egg. And you kind of raise it up a little bit and give it a small shake. It seems dense enough that whatever's inside, likely kind of like a lizard egg, has its own fluids and cushions inside to protect it from any impact or trauma. It seems thick enough to handle any stabs, slashes, or cuts. It seems clearly, at least from what you guys have tried, reflective of magic, which is interesting to see. And so far from what you guys have tried, nothing seems to be able to damage it.
Got you. You could eat it.
I'm gonna have to pass on that one. I mean, you ate the person piece, so you have at it.
Don't tempt me.
You're not you when you're hungry. Eat a Snickers.
Eat a gothic horror egg.
Yeah. Eat a gothic horror egg.
It's like caviar, but
Eat one if you
big.
got it.
Perhaps we put it next to the torpedo and then shoot it from a distance.
Maybe? Possibly?
Thorin is carrying it out of the torpedo room.
Well, there weren't any torpedoes in there anyways.
Just carrying this jelly-like matte bowling ball.
No, isn't one of the torpedoes hanging out the back now?
Half of one.
Yeah. So we just sit on the edge and shoot at it until we're either out of ammo or it explodes.
Why don't we just stuff it in the barrel of that 88?
What if we send it up somewhere and shoot it with the ADAs?
I want to shoot an 88.
I just start doing random.
All right, that's what we're doing.
Oh my god.
It works for me.
Alright.
Unless one of the other party members has an idea.
For the sake of argument, we'll do a nice Batman transition scene. Allow me to set up, Oh, nope, that's the Arctic ship. We need to go...
Wait a minute.
Submarine. Haha!
We're going back there? Wow, okay.
As we'll set back up with, who's gonna be manning the 88 and who's gonna be watching the spectacle that is,
I'm definitely gonna be watching.
I'll load for Torin. Can we get a bonus for Wilhelm being an artilleryman, even though he's AFK?
Yeah, we'll have Wilhelm help you guys to give you a bonus.
I don't know. We'll set it up like over here,
Team building exercise.
or like over here. I think the 88 should be able to traverse to that. Yeah.
It can do almost like 270 degrees where it's at.
Yeah. So we'll set it up like over here, up on the cliff side in like a little niche. Then have everyone else go over here to be well clear of it.
So you're setting it down here in the bottom right, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll have everybody move a little ways up here and out of the impact and shrapnel potential. I'd like the two of you to roll me. Let's do let's have both of you roll sleight of hand, and you can roll it with advantage because you have Wilhelm helping out.
Up.
Hey. So grabbing the one of the shells from down below, walking it up there, slamming it in, cranking it, turning it about. You gotta chip a little bit at it to get some of the ice to break, and you gotta really press against some of the knobs and handles before they fully start free spinning. But you're able to get this 88 to rotate around, and you're able to lock it in. Wilhelm aiming down the sight with you to make sure it's fully like lased in where it needs to go. Gives you guys a nod and a thumbs up as he'll kind of back up a motion for one of you two to do the honors.
I want to do it.
Be my guest.
Okay, here we go.
Roll me strength.
Strength. Oh, yeah.
How do you step down on the foot pedal firing trigger?
Well, I assume he's gonna like try to push it at first and then realize that it's quite stiff and just fucking Goomba stomp on it.
Torn raising his leg up to about chest height and stomping down.
No, not one. Like jump, like both fucking heels. Just.
Oh. I think you realize, and this might be a good time to figure it out. How many pounds does Torn weigh?
I've thought about it, but probably about 80.
Yeah.
80 to 85-ish, something in that range. Plus
Except
the tail.
when comedy dictates he weighs like 10 pounds. Because he's the smallest one in the party.
German comedy is very cold because this pedal doesn't give at all, and you kind of hurt your heels as you land on it and ow.
Ow! Shit! Ow! That was very anticlimactic and embarrassing.
Do you want me to try?
Yeah.
Roll me
Guess we'll
strength.
swap seats. And I'll also fail the roll.
Without,
You okay?
yeah, I'm just kind of laughing at this
No, he's
because
not.
I'm looking at my notepad. I'm not okay. You guys swap seats, Torn a little defeated, and having had to chisel through and get this working, you go to press the pedal and you figure, okay, well, if it didn't work under his jump on it, maybe I gotta give it a little bit more gas. And you kind of step on it real nice and hard, put your heel into it, full flat-footed, and it gives a small amount of give and drops about halfway down, assumably from where it's supposed to, but it stops, and then you feel a bit of a cramp, and then the middle of your foot is kind of sore, and you're like, ow!
Is it broken?
Perhaps. The gun is laid properly, correct?
Wilhelm will give a second, double thumbs up, yeah, obviously.
Let's all get clear away from it, and I'm going to hit it with firebolt until the ammo cooks off inside.
Torin looks up from pulling his pickaxe out of his bag.
Huh?
The ammo in the gun, you heat it up enough and it will go off.
Oh, I was just gonna hit it with an axe.
Yeah, it works too.
Give
Wait,
me,
the fucking pickaxe at the pedal.
give me strength. Unless you actually have a pickaxe stat.
I don't think I... Oh, I do. Wait. Oh, there you go.
With the number needed to do this, you raise a pickaxe up, swing it down as it connects with the corner of the pedal and drives it down fully. The pickaxe and you are kind of thrown back upwards and back, not fully off your feet, but kind of recoiled back upwards as you're not really in prime position to where you kind of should be, as the whole chamber kicks back, the shell gets ejected out, you get the loud plume of awesome 88 recoil action cooking out, and a really nice loud thundering bang, especially from these ones being shoulder barreled, as you see the egg on the other side disappear along with a bunch of ice and snow into a nice big HE riddled plume.
It is about this time that Leroy reaches climax and wonders, wow, that was a hell.
Nice work.
Oh shit.
Shut up.
Do it again.
Yo, can we get a second one?
I do not think so. I think it is broken.
I can't hear anything!
Your ears are definitely hurting.
Never come like that before.
This is Leroy.
Just looks back at him like,
All
what?
right. Are we going to try and get the propeller?
I feel the power! Propeller, right? Yeah, sure.
Roll me perception, all of you.
Everybody?
Yep, everybody.
Kung Fu fighting.
Oh,
Fuck.
he didn't fucking see it.
Nikos, who has rejoined us on our U-boat expedition.
And damn.
Persuasion? That's not perception.
Oh. Shit. My bad.
Oh, good. Hey, it's
worse.
even
Oh,
worse.
shit.
Snake sees all.
Nat 20.
Wow. Leroy, give us your perception.
I thought I was separate from the group, and
No. Like, you guys were watching this go on and everything. You're in the area.
We moved you guys onto everyone around because we were shooting the thing.
Damn, 2 nat 1s, and apparently the 2 nat 1s means I can get a nat 20. Damn.
Peter and Leroy, no thoughts whatsoever. You're just, wow, that was cool. We fired an 88. Are we gonna sink the sub?
Explosion.
Yeah, explosion. Nikos, yeah, they're having fun. Whatever they're doing. Anyway, back to looking at these tentacles I harvested. Torn, yeah, ears kind of hurt, but yeah, whatever that was, it's been destroyed. I'll take notes on what little bit I did see later on. Hachu, for some reason you're the only one that has a little bit of thought and idea of, did they actually hit it? And you kind of peek over as the dust and smoke is starting to clear and some of the snow is starting to drop back down, and as everybody's already dissipating, going back to checking out the other things that they want to do, you kind of focus in a little bit, your eyes go a little more narrow, and your pupils go more slit-like. And yeah, you focus directly on a very particular matte black orb that is sitting inside this kind of snowy, icy crater, completely unharmed.
Well, you didn't miss it, but it's still there.
What?
The black orb is still there.
There's a hole in your where?
What about the Gorb having hair?
There's a blob of
I know how
white
it feels
ginger
now.
hair.
Oh, come on. You didn't lose any damn hair.
What?
Would you like to point it out to him, Hachu?
Yeah, I will. You know what? I'll just fucking throw an Elder's Blast to get their fucking attention at the damn thing.
Oh, fire.
You see him raise up his hand as one of the greenish-white kind of flamey orbs appear in his hand with that little reminiscent kind of ethereal skull inside it. And he'll arch his hand out and fire it off, and you'll see it impact inside the crater that you guys made. And as the magic dissipates off that rather rapidly, all of you are able to focus your eyes in again on black orb sitting there pretentiously.
There, you see it now?
What is it?
Where did you get the hair from? I do not see any on it.
Hey, Hachu, the egg is still there! You just
Oh,
got a fireball at it!
Man, thank you for letting me know. Thank you.
Maybe we should just toss it in the ocean. And
Yes,
forget
you're
about
right.
it?
I think we should go at this point.
No, if we toss it in the ocean, it'll get caught up in the rolling tides, and eventually, maybe in a series of 40 years, will wind up in the States or somewhere around Germany.
Then maybe just leave it here.
I still think Hachu should eat it.
I've heard that. I'm not eating it.
I do not think beating it would work if the 88 didn't.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. Beating it won't work. We'll just throw you at it.
I don't get it.
I don't see how glue would be helpful at all.
I just start walking towards I just start slithering towards the damn plane. I just throw my hands in the air. That's all right. I
Hachu
did
just
my
does a
part.
nice
We're
little
leaving it here.
snake waggle back towards the plane and is gonna exit scene, right?
Well, I
throw
mean,
my hands in the air and just like, man, all right, I did my job. Yeah, y'all figure it out. I say leave it.
I think it would be safer. Maybe that's how the Germans got stuck with it. They couldn't destroy it.
Then where do they get it from?
These things are German to begin with.
They brought it with
True.
them.
I say we put it back in the U-boat and then we sink the U-boat and we leave.
Like I said, we shoot at the torpedo until it explodes.
Yeah,
Question
I think that
is,
sounds like
can
a
we
good idea.
Question is, can we salvage the propeller first? I still think it would be useful. Could be useful.
Can we salvage the propeller?
I would say no, but you're free to try because the dice might prove me wrong. It's gonna be significantly hard to remove the propeller off this.
Could we fit it on the plane, is the question.
No.
I don't think
Then
so.
there's no
that's
point.
that.
Unless you wanted to toss
There's no
the
damn
German...
way that thing's fitting on a plane.
Unless you wanted to toss the German off and replace him with a propeller.
What if we make Hachu use his levitate ability behind the plane the whole way? We just tie a rope to him.
Oh my god. I just constantly casting it, just like...
You guys look like those fucking biplanes at baseball games with a banner behind them.
Exactly.
Snake
Exactly.
holding a propeller.
You guys are terrible.
It's a question.
I guess Torn's gonna go over and get the egg and resist the urge to eat it.
I don't think you could. It's a bowling ball.
Oh, don't underestimate.
Eh, I guess Thor could try.
That would probably be bad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably. There'd be a couple checks that would need to be made, but it could be done.
No, I mean not how hard it would be to swallow. No, I mean the fucking the other part.
So we're gonna set it up and then shoot at the torpedo for a while from a safe distance. That's the plan.
Is that
Sounds
the
like
plan?
it.
I think that's the plan.
Do you agree to that, Torn?
How would we shoot at it from a safe distance?
We go up to the ridge and we shoot at it until we either run out of ammo or we hit it.
But there's like a submarine hole in the way.
No, the torpedo is sticking partway out now.
Oh, it is?
He looks.
It's part of the way out.
Oh, that's great.
Rather,
Yeah,
the warhead portion is.
Yeah, he's gonna go get the egg, walk it back into the sub, give it an unceremonious chuck into that back torpedo room, close the bulkhead, and then walk it back out.
Oh, okay.
Gotta be polite and close the door behind you, you know?
You throw it and you can walk it out. Roll me one more perception check.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't really notice as you're a little too angry, just kind of yeeting it into the room. As you close the door, go walking out, and you kind of give the thumbs up to everyone. So I'm assuming you guys want to get far to the tail end of the sub when you're firing into this to try to hit the torpedo straight on? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'd assume side on, because I figure if we shoot the actual explosive compartment, then it goes off, you know?
I'm
True.
thinking somewhere grounded that's not on ice.
Yeah. Assumably not on
If-
ice, up on a full ridge above this lake somewhere. So
We have a
okay.
couple Mauser rifles, too, for anyone who doesn't have one that wants to participate, right?
Yeah,
I
you
got
guys do
none.
have a couple Mausers, but everyone's got a gun, to my knowledge.
That has the range to hit it from here, because we're quite a distance away.
That's a good question.
Might need to make it more of a marksmanship competition with this. That's about
Like-
190 feet.
Any rifle should be able
What
to
we
make
got?
this shot.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
It's a fucking spear. That's not a rifle.
Spears it from this distance.
There you go, 180 feet from right here. That's in range.
So, who would like to take a shot at it first?
I will.
Alright, roll me an attack.
Man, at the ready. Take aim.
Let me figure out what I want the AC
Drago.
to be, because I didn't think you guys would be shooting at torpedoes.
Well, we wouldn't be shooting at blanks, would we?
Alrighty, that works.
Make him dance.
So you'll see him
Make him
step
dance.
forward, aim his Russian Winchester outwards, take a shot, and you hear it hit the front corner of it and kind of ping, ricochet off.
I'll go next.
Nikos, with his borrowed Mosin from the first mission, levels it off and fires as you hear it hit the bottom of the warhead end and kind of ping, tick off and smack down into the ice.
I'm pretty sure we collected a spare Mauser.
I
from the
forgot you
guys
still
earlier.
had that Mosin.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I
One.
rarely use it.
Alright, let me lay down where you are.
I'm not going to move my token because I'm lazy.
Alright, Kova's just gonna lay down and shoot between your legs.
Oh god.
Oh.
As he
Don't
kind
you
of
get
steps to
4
the
attacks?
side and... Nope, it's a 4-round burst per attack. And perhaps that's part of the reason why it doesn't do as great. You lay down, bipod up, aim in, and ta-ta-ta-ta. And the first round hits the back edge of it because it was aimed on perfectly. However, the next 3 rounds at this range kind of stitch their way up the back rudder. Just kind of tink-tink-tink.
I missed.
Leroy,
Yes.
are you participating?
Marksmanship competition. Who can shoot a torpedo?
We're how far away?
180 feet, give or take.
Oh, God. With a fucking pistol? You know what? Let's fucking do it.
Oh no. I'm gonna
For the
step
fuck-
forward with
for
a
the
southern
fucking-
gentleman, sort of hand on the hip,
Sipping a yoo-hoo.
sipping a yoo-hoo.
Hang on. Let me see if that's lore accurate.
I think it's a probably be a disadvantage.
Oh yeah, it's at disadvantage.
Yoo-hoo is 1928. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, roll me your pistol attack with disadvantage. Because you are way outmaxing the range of this pistol, at least for tabletop stats.
Holy shit.
You son of a bitch. Describe to me your stance then.
What's it?
My stance is flinging my hat off to the side dramatically, bringing the pistol up from my hip,
There's
clasping it in
JoJo
both
music playing
hands,
right now. Just letting you know.
clasping it in both hands, and the mustache blowing in the wind, sighting down, and
Roll me damage. Fuck. I was hoping for 4. I'm not gonna give you the gratitude right away. As he aims his
Listen,
fucking
motherfucker.
45, fires a shot at a pretty significant distance. You hear it hit with a dull thud, and you see that little spark as it rips through.
Did you hit it?
And then slowly starts to let his pose down. And the
You
question
failed.
question starts to enter your mind.
I know I wasn't loaded with blanks. What the?
And it
I'm gonna
fucking,
come up
Name
to
it Ulysses S. Grant.
as the
I'm gonna-
words heretical Grant leave your lips, it detonates behind you. The 2 propellers flying off in both directions, the rear rudder completely entering orbit horizontally, as the rest of the sub gets bucked forward about 30 feet further into the ice before going ass overhead upwards about 20 feet up, and then dropping back down, landing in the ice heavily, cracking and crunching, starting to rupture in 2 more spots before dropping down into the ice as the entire lake bed is cracking and crunching under itself as the submarine very quickly, in a mix of fire and just raw damage, drops down beneath the ice, leaving bubbles and marks with it. There's a handful of ammo crates, and what was left of some of the bodies and blood have fallen in to the ice and the water as well. Aside from a few chunks of bulkhead that have now flown about, and wherever the fuck the tail rudder went to, there's no sign that there was a U-boat here. Or at least after a couple days of snow, there won't be.
Well,
Congratulations, gentlemen. We have now created the first man-made object to enter orbit.
Let's go.
I casually holster my pistol, look at everybody as I retrieve my hat, dust the snow off it, put it back on my head, and just nod and smile and say, apple cider vinegar, y'all.
I think you hit it.
I'm buying you a drink when we get back.
Hey, wait, did anyone see where that rudder went?
I think it went to the moon.
Space.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna roll a perception on that with Thorin.
Roll me perception. You could turn off disadvantage, Leroy, but we'll say it's a 19. And a 15.
I'll take a look too. Why not?
All of you kind of...
I like that better.
There we go. All of you kind of look over your shoulder to the side, which would be about to the south, and you're trying to figure out, like, okay, maybe where'd it go? However far it went, or wherever it decided to go, it has gone so far before fully coming to a drop and landing somewhere, likely in some recession somewhere, that it's too far gone to be worth going and trying to find or pick up, but somewhere at least 400 to 500 yards away is a rudder of a U-boat. Whether that will fuel some conspiracy theory 80 years from now, we'll have to find out, but the rudder is now gone.
Well, that probably
Alright,
took
we
care
should
of
get
that
going
black
back to
orb.
the plane.
Yep.
Well, I highly doubt that destroyed the egg if a direct shot from an 88 could, but at least it's buried in a submarine at the bottom of the Arctic below what's soon to be 5 feet of ice. So, it's a problem for another century.
Hopefully, at the very least, it has given that rally guester some permanent brain damage.
Guy gonna have a fucking autistic Schnelliggeist come out of here.
You're gonna give it that additional strength buff?
No, he comes out and he's just got this weird obsession with trains.
It only swoops down and attacks trains.
No, it doesn't attack trains. It'll just sit there and stare at them.
It attacks people on the trains. To protect the trains. Oh, God. Anything else you guys would like to do now that you have scuttled the U-boat and the assumed egg?
I think it's back, and on that bombshell, literal bombshell, back to the plane.
Alrighty. We'll do a nice little scene transition here. As you guys rekindle all your gear, put it all together, you see the pilot has been well at work with his very wrapped up prisoner sitting inside the back of the plane, resting pretty happily, it seems. Or at least having calmed down enough to fall asleep. But yeah, pilot's kind of standing by. Hachu's waiting there for you guys to all rejoin. As he's just kind of looking to you a bit expectantly. Kind of taps his watch. Now that you're done blowing stuff up, we ready to get out of here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Depends on whether or not you want to try and blow up this giant egg thing. Well, big.
Egg thing.
You would probably rather not know, if I'm being honest.
If it's whatever scared him, I don't really want to know. I'll read about it in your after-action report.
You probably won't.
Probably not. It's probably for the best. That is, if we make it back to Deception Island, it's gonna be a very tight flight. And that's concerning with armfuls of paperwork.
This was our actual mission.
And the radio. The radio's good. An additional man and this much extra paperwork's gonna be kind of hard to fly, considering we're already a bit overweight.
I believe in you.
Well, I'm not walking back.
You just want to leave the German?
I am not leaving the German.
I wasn't saying that. I maybe we leave him with some food and we let another flight come and get him.
I'm pretty sure there is going to be no other flight.
I'm aware, but we just don't tell him. No, okay. Shoot. Well, it's gonna be very tight getting back, but if we do make it back, you got any fancy magics or whatnot that can maybe help us get back a little easier?
Oh boy.
Cast protection from poison. No.
Because we have just enough fuel to fly back with an extra couple pounds plus what we came here with.
Let's throw the seats out. Let's throw the seats out. We can sit on the floor. Except for the pilot. That should give us a little bit more room to work. Why would they make it such weight constraint if they wanted us to bring back? Never mind.
Yeah, I say we ditch the sled.
Kind of working with the only thing we had available. Actually, that's a good idea. We can ditch the sled, can't we?
I'm gonna say ditch the sled, ditch any spare rations. Anything like that.
Ditch my spear and shield. Slightly less weight. Seems
slightly less weight. That shield has to weigh like 40 pounds.
The kobold is going to think for a second and then begrudgingly take that 2-pounder AP shell out of his satchel and drop it in the snow.
Pilot kind of looks at you with a head tilt at that.
What?
You didn't think to leave that on the boat?
No, I forgot I had it.
You know, with dropping that entire sled, and I'm assuming your shield and spear is some sort of magic thingy?
Oh yeah, I can get them back. No worries.
Alright. Yeah, and some rations, and then we could pull out at least one of the bench seats. That should be plenty enough. Alright then, let's get to it. And you'll kind of climb in. We'll do about a 30-minute to an hour transition here as you guys rip out the parts you need to, load up the equipment, clamber on inside, spool up the engine, and start making your way out.
As he gets ready for takeoff, I'm gonna cast Bless on him, so he gets
Hey!
his B4 on any saving throws.
Sweet. I'm gonna probably... Is it only on saving throws, or is it on...
Let me double check. Let's find out. Attack roll or saving throw.
If he does have to make a saving throw, let's hope he doesn't. Well, let's see.
You sure you can?
Since I can cast it onto up to 3 creatures, and I'm assuming Torin is in the pilot or the co-pilot seat, I'll cast it on Torin as well.
All right.
For both of them.
Torin, roll me piloting if you have it in one of your skills. Or if
I
not
haven't set it up
piloting,
as a skill.
sleight of hand.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay, that'll definitely help compensate for this.
No, Flaps stay in position. Now, hold up.
While he's working the joystick, you are reaching across, flipping the knobs, you are working the flaps, you are double working with him on the pedals, and...
Lay down. You're creating drag. We don't have enough airspace.
I know what I'm doing. You do your job, I'll do this. And thanks to the nat 20, his 3 and a 7
Oh my god.
are compensated for, so no save has to be made. Oh god. Yeah, you guys managed to take off across this kind of lumpy, smooth snow, almost in the way a water plane does. It's not very nice. It's kind of uncomfortable. It takes a good minute because it's very drag happy the first bit. You're really flooring this engine to start pulling you along.
Kobold is frazzled. You know the look of a face on like a teenager who just spun out his dad's Mustang and didn't hit the wall? He's got that look.
Oh god. Yeah, I can picture that. Because you guys...
Take off.
You guys managed to make out and get airborne. He'll inflict the kind of knob in the middle to take full control over it once you're fully in the air. Do a couple rotations about, get you up to altitude, and start working his way up to higher altitudes as you start making your way north-northeast again. And as you guys are traveling along, it'd be one of those long, kind of uneventful flights. However, you do notice, being cramped in as you are, the German is sleeping very, very heavily. Like, he hasn't woken up at all, despite some of the turbulence and jumps and kind of jolts. But as you guys are all kind of packed in here, sitting like you were before, he's not made really any stirs. He's just sleeping real heavily. But
I'm gonna check him over to make sure he's, like, at least physically
He's breathing,
fine.
right?
He is breathing, yes. Roll me medicine, Peter.
There it is.
You look at him, raise one of his eyelids up. It dilates like it's supposed to. Lower it back down. Kind of feel his forehead. Feel his pulse. Feel the bottom of his hand. He is absolutely, like, sleep sloshed drunk.
Like exhaustion?
No, like drunk, like alcohol.
What did you give him? I'm going to say to the pilot.
He looks back. Oh, kind of out now, but I had this flask for if things ever got bad. It seems like he needed it. It was the only way to calm him down. And he kind of holds up his flask with a little flippy flap flange on it, showing that it's kind of empty.
Kobold's gonna take his flask out of, like, snatch it and then
Alright.
start filling it with the rest of the wine from that canteen.
Oh. Well, thank you. I don't know what that is or where he got it from.
Wine from Schwabenland.
Ah,
I hope you'll like German wine.
I guess I can't be too peculiar. And he'll kind of pinch it with 2 fingers and take it back over and give it a little sniff. Take
I'll
2
be like,
quick
"That's
little
crazy."
sips. Yeah, it definitely doesn't belong in, yeah, it's not mixing great with the, whiskey aftertaste, but yeah, I guess I had to clean this out at some point anyway. He'll cap it, put it back in his jacket.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Are you even old enough to drink?
I don't know.
Is there even a drinking age? It's 1936.
Depends on what country you're in, what race you are. Bartenders just have a massive tome behind the counter.
I assume there's like 2 sips left in the canteen. Torrent's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
finish those off, and yeah, I have an empty canteen now.
Alrighty. Oh man. Continuing your flight along, simply because there's not too awful much written here, kind of Indiana Jones transition style, unless you guys would like to try to pore over some of the notes that you've recovered and some of the information in this cramped space.
I just assume Torn will be looking at all the shit he has because he's bored, but like that's not something we need to flesh out at this moment, probably.
Just kind of the knickknacks and hats and stuff that you've recovered so far.
Mostly all the piles of fucking paperwork that he stuffed into the helmet.
Oh god.
I'm assuming Wilhelm is helping with the translation of that.
Oh yeah, Wilhelm would be helping with that. Give me a investigation as you kind of start pouring over some of that.
While you're doing that, I looked into it, and it seems like pretty in 1933, around pretty much the entirety of the U.S., it was 21, except for Ohio where it was 16, North Carolina where it was 18, and D.C. where it was 18, and Mississippi where it was 18, but only for beer, and 21 for everything else. Oh, and Oklahoma, where for men it was 21 and women it was 18.
Yo, what the fuck?
I don't think the law applies to him. He's registered as a pet in Boston. So like,
yeah. We don't serve your kind. Alright. Yeah, I was under the impression there was drinking law, but it wasn't thoroughly upheld, really, except for like, dare I say, more.
Well, this is in the immediate post-prohibition, so
that too, yeah. Wow, Torn, that one is doing great for you. Yeah, you're kind of
the papers blow out the window.
You're looking over some of the papers, and it's really not jiving. You got some of the pictures mixed in with it. You got some of the other stuff kind of. You're trying to jumble it all together, trying to do a bit too much at once. Instead of just looking through them, you're like maybe trying to organize them or look for dates on them or this or that. And you end up kind of mixing some of the folders together that probably should have been separated because they were in separate manila folders, but you're starting to realize they're now mixed in and intermixed together, and there's not really any chronological order to it anymore.
It's Southern Hemisphere guy's problem now.
Yeah, it's his problem. He'll figure it
hopefully,
out.
Hopefully he gets some help now.
But you did make whoever's going to receive at least some of this paperwork a little bit more, quite a bit more difficult.
Fucking assholes.
But yeah, that one's not helping. Hey, let me turn off that window because I'm not gonna need any of that.
While we're flying, I'm gonna turn to Leroy, put my hand on his shoulder, and very quietly say, "You know, Leroy, the Lord is always watching," and then refuse to elaborate.
I'll kind of be looking out the window, stroking my mustache and beard, and thinking about how I just left my mark on a land that was uninhabited, and kind of look over my shoulder at the Russian and just kind of nod enigmatically and just keep stroking my beard. And just, mutter to myself, apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar.
Let this be known for canonical story. Yes, everybody here at one point did piss in Antarctica, so that is worth noting. No, out of character, Leroy Johnson did not bust a nut and jerk off in Antarctica.
What do you mean I did not? You don't know that.
You did not rub one out in Antarctica, or at least not outside the U-boat, at least.
Are you saying I busted a nut inside the U-boat?
No, maybe in the Schwabenland.
Fear response to that Snellygaster.
Fear response to Snellygaster's. What? It happens when I get scared. Oh
I heard this was a remedy, a natural protection against ghosts, so I did it.
No. Maybe at some point, but
Snake
outside
oil.
of the U-boat, no. Yeah.
Yeah, all those nice mangled corpses for decor. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really gets man going.
You guys continue your flight back for a bit longer as you start to see less ice and a little bit more insinuated kind of green-ish in the distance on the handful of tiny little islands way out there. As you descend your way down, make a nice, relatively pleasant landing, because I actually managed to roll a nat 20, so thankfully Torn won't need to assist. And it's a nice little skip and a bump. Plane comes to a gentle glide, stops beside the ragtag ship, the old pre-war destroyer, inter-period, Great War destroyer rather.
Nice landing. I didn't even have to touch the controls this time.
I know how to fly sometimes.
It's not the flying we are concerned with.
Doubt.
Is his name Launchpad by any chance?
Launchpad Johnson. That's a great name.
Might be
for
a little bit of the
character.
inspiration, but Launchpad Johnson. Okay. Gives a bit of a nod and kind of gives you a short little thanks to Torn, and then looks back to the rest of you. Alright, just kind of hold on for a moment. And you feel two kind of thuds on top of the plane as they eventually hook to it, raise you up with the little crane, lower you back down, lock it in, and you're able to open up the door and climb out onto the deck of the ship, start unloading
As soon as we
some
open
of
the
gear.
door. As soon as we open the door, I'm saying, "We come bearing survivor."
The two crewmen on the deck kind of look to you with a little confusion, and then look past you, past Hachu and the others. They could see the German troop kind of cuddled up there, just heavily sleeping. And they give a
corner.
kind of confused but more serious nod as one of them will unholster his pistol and keep it kind of at the half ready, and they'll motion with their hands to bring them out. And you guys will be able to filter them on out, and they'll take them between either of them and kind of shoulder carry them off and take them down below deck. You could pretty well assume they're not going to beat the guy or be inhumane to him, but they're using the advantage of him being out of it right now to kind of hurry with him to get him into a confined room. And the captain will come walking up to you guys after you're all fully disembarked, starting to unload some of the paperwork, some of the gear, not being attached to a sled anymore, and kind of look to all of you, mostly focusing on you, Peter. So, I'm
We got
assuming
most of our-
mission successful?
Yeah, probably. We got most of a radio for you as well. Although we only came across one survivor from a U-boat. Perhaps before we leave, you can find out how many are in their squadron.
We'll see if we can get that out of him once he's up and awake. We won't be leaving for at least another half hour or so. Good news is we are in a running condition. Even better news, you say you got a radio?
Guess, pull the radio out of the pile of stuff on the deck.
Backpack will be among it, and he'll set it down, take the little radio out, set it on the deck. Pretty sure we got one or two that'll know how to work that. And he'll kind of motion for one of the crewmen to come over, take all the equipment and parts with it, and start running off with it up towards the little command tower. We'll see if we're going to have that up and running shortly. We're hoping to start making our way back as soon as possible. But if we can get that up and running here shortly, we'll at least be able to let them know we're on our way back, which is half the worry. So, good job there. So, a prisoner, you got a radio.
And a lot of
You got some
documents.
paperwork.
I'm
There's one
starting.
less U-boat hunting us.
Starting to notice that. You mentioned a U-boat and... give me a quick over-under. What all happened?
Big monster.
So,
Twice.
the U-boats apparently were dispatched to search for the wreck of the Schwabenland, which we found.
No. He said escort.
What?
The crewman. He said they were supposed to escort the Schwabenland.
Well, yes, but it turned into a salvage mission after the Schwabenland
disappeared.
Around.
Which the Schwabenland somehow got quite a ways inland. Not quite sure how that happened.
Wilhelm managed to get a little bit out of the German from the U-boat that it was part of the operation on Deception Island that undid the listening post there. And then they surfaced in the ice, got stuck, got murdered by an eldritch beast, and then we sank the U-boat.
Eldritch beast.
Yes.
You talking one of those snowy monsters that
No.
they've been talking about?
We did encounter one of those, but no, we're something. I think it's called like smelly geist or something.
Snellergeist.
That.
Gesundheit?
It eats your soul.
Huh. And they had this with them.
Yes.
Huh.
Again, no idea why.
Well, maybe some of this paperwork will answer while we pour over it, or more so when we hand it over to the Falklands once we get back. That'll be their job to look through. Well, glad you're all back with additional more than we would have hoped, and having dropped a U-boat. That likely means our job's that much easier getting back. I doubt they're gonna try to come after us at all if we've already sank one, so... Oh, alright then. Good news is, again, engine's up and running. We can retain full speed. You might laugh a little bit at what we've done for a auxiliary propeller, though.
What have you done?
We took some of the various metal parts from those buildings over there and kind of welded and fabricated them together to make a sort of makeshift prop.
Hey, as long as it works.
Yeah, if it works, it works.
How's the cavitation?
Not great.
Yeah, worst case scenario, we can have Nikos here push us. Or pull us. Which would you prefer, Nikos?
Probably push.
Can you see underwater?
Yeah.
I say this as a joke, obviously not need to, but I'm almost half tempted to strap you to the belly of the ship and just have you look out for torpedoes and subs.
I suppose we could do that. I'd prefer not to, though.
Of course, we shouldn't need to.
Do not kill all our hoplite.
We will just throw him over the side if we see them coming.
We'll have a better eye out this time on the journey back. We also went up to the outpost and fully sank and scuttled any evidence and remnants of it. You're right, there was nothing to recover up there, so we made sure it won't be found again. But,
right, what's left of it is right here.
He's gonna motion to the absolute mess of disjointed pile of paperwork that he has.
Huh. It might be good to put that in a safer box or container of some sort below deck where it's not gonna get wet.
I still like to imagine he's holding it in the
little bit of it's in the helmet.
Carrying helmet.
A little bit of it's in the helmet. Some of it's in a small crate. A bunch of it is just stacked up with like a big band around it. It's just a whole bunch of paperwork.
I'm going to need a box and directions to your mess hall.
Huh, you think this ship has a mess hall? No, we have a room serving as that. Come on, I'm assuming all of you are hungry. We'll get all this packed and put away. We'll get some food in us, and then we'll be on our way here shortly.
Thank you.
And for sake of scene transition, everything will get packed away real nicely and put up real nice. All the gear will be staged. The plane will get remounted onto the catapult. The engine will start up, and it'll sound fucking bassy. It doesn't sound very great running throughout the ship, but it does run, and it does propel you. As the ship will start making its way out of, dare I say, port and into open water, while you guys are all below deck, able to enjoy some thrown together cobbled stew for the entire crew. Where you guys are able to eat, you're eventually shown to the couple rooms that are available, where you are able to get a long rest and everything that would entail, be it health, magic, and in between. As you guys are able to get this long rest, it is a nice, nice long float back to the Falklands. Thankfully, they're on their shit, they're watching out. There is no U-boat spottings, there is no periscope spottings, there is nothing that seems to be pursuing or chasing. However, if you guys would like to, you are all free to roll me a investigation to kind of take some time to look out or try to watch and see if you don't fully trust the crew to be on their shit.
Don't trust shit.
9, a 9, a fucking nat 20. Alright. So
you cheated.
Nikos, you get up into...
A little bit off.
Alright, I'm rolling.
Alright.
Doesn't matter.
Hey!
That stew was great for softening out that leftover dinner roll, though.
Like it.
Hey! So you guys get back up in the tower, Peter, while you're up on the command deck. You're kind of looking out off and on. Don't really see too much.
By being 8 dice off.
Hachu, you get up in the tower at one point, and you're looking out for a few hours just to kind of placate any worries. Nothing shows up. Nothing seems to really be on radar or anything of that sort that you can see as your head kind of periscopes around. Torin, you get up top at one point, right as the sun's starting to come back up. One of the next days, and you're looking out with a pair of binoculars, kind of leaning forward, looking out at the horizon, checking around. There's nothing. There's no odd waves, there's no cavitations, there's no sounds in the distance, and you spend a good half a day up there, off and on. There's no evidence of anything tracking you or following you. You guys are the only boat in the entire region until you're the first and only one to spot it before you eventually, I'm assuming, would call down to the others. You see the edge of a little island chain kind of rising up in the distance. And one of the first things you're able to spot with these binoculars is what seems to be a kind of reddish square, which you very quickly identify to be one of the Union Jack flags of a friendly ship. As you guys are entering Falklands protected waters, or patrolled waters, rather, as eventually 2 other destroyers will pass by you doing their patrol rotations. And they give a couple honks to you guys as you'll give a couple horns back over to them, kind of congratulating you on making it back in. As you guys enter nicer waters, it's a lot more kind of tropical and nice. It's not as cold, it's not as frigid and dead. And you make your way into port, come to a nice dock. The engines they've seen better days, but they did what they needed to. This ship is probably good to be extremely retrofit or retired at this point. As comes to a nice dock, throws the little hooks out, pulls in nice and tight, and drops down the little slab. And you guys are fully able to disembark, assist with unloading the gear, and unless you guys got something in particular you would like to do, it'll be about 5 days between hanging out here on base, kind of relaxing for a while, and the long flight with about 6 stops back up to England from here. So unless you guys got something you would like to do, or something you would like to focus on, or something you would like to read through.
I want to find out what they're doing with the prisoner. Technically not a prisoner. I mean, practically yes, but technically no, because we're not at war with Germany.
Hostage?
The hostage is, yeah, hostage would be the correct word, I suppose. He's taken onto the base and put into the brig, although he's put into a kind of nicer portion in holding. He's not like hard cell being held. Also considering once the drunkenness does wear off, he is still very much a kind of insanity-ridden, scared mess, and it seems like that still hasn't gone away. It seems like whatever spell managed to hit him had a permanent effect. He is in a locked state of fear and panic and entanglement. But they try to work with him as best they can. The nurses try to help out. They keep him on a lot of painkillers and relaxants. And eventually, while you guys are on the Falklands for 2 days, the latter evening of the first day that you're hanging out there, he does eventually get loaded up on a plane where he is flown out, and you are told he is being flown to South Africa, where eventually he'll then be forwarded up the chain to England for further interrogation, investigation, and whatnot. But there doesn't seem to be any inhumane or harsh treatment of him.
Alright, I think we're probably taking the dog tags back to England with us.
I figured more than likely, along with all the paperwork, it'll be going with you guys. While it is at the Falklands, some of the paper pushers there do take a lot of it and kind of reorganize it, bind it properly, put it in much safer containers and travel-worthy organization, and into a good amount of, I'm losing the name for it, suitcases, for much easier transport. You got about 9 suitcases worth of photos and paperwork.
Sweet, I can take that stuff out of my inventory.
Yep. You are free to drop that out of your inventory. Is there anything else you guys would like to look into or touch on, or?
Yeah, probably teleport my spear and shield
yeah.
back to me.
Now you have to carry them around. You could have just waited until
True. Like, I'll just leave them again.
Yeah, while you guys are hanging out there, I imagine while you're just sitting around, there's a slight, sort of air crackle sound as you just kind of put both your arms outwards while you're stretching, sitting back in a chair, and you just hear kind of a airy pop as his shield and spear just pop in his arm and hands again.
Nice and handy.
Wow.
Never far away.
I wish I could do that. That sounds pretty useful. Or seems pretty useful.
What kind of food do you think they have here?
biscuits.
Lots of
Biscuits and
biscuits, a lot of corned beef, lots of
Sheep.
gravy.
They have sheep on the phone.
Falklands have a shit ton of sheep, that is true. So a lot of mutton, a lot of lamb's leg.
No.
Mm.
Kobold's gonna go out and find one of those old ladies selling a really good street food.
The Falklands. They don't really
Falklands
have
and
that.
Street food
Damn it.
don't exist at this time. The Falklands at this point in time was owned by 12 land-owning farming companies, and you were basically almost like a royal family, part of one of those 12, and it was very segregated between those. And then you had your air base and your naval base.
There is no locale here. What a miserable place.
Quite literally, so much so that if you look at the counties, it's literally named after the companies that own that land. Like, one county is named something another sugar company, another county is named something other like wool or something like that. Like, it's kind of fun. But yeah, there's not too much as far as city life or township going on. There's a town, but as far as like street vendors and stuff, you'd be searching for a little while.
Boring.
Falklands is kind of boring.
There's gotta be some old grungy dude in a beanie selling penguin meat somewhere.
Bro, there's a single bar on the whole fucking island.
Yeah.
A tavern, sir. There's no such thing as a bar here.
It's actually a pub, technically, and it's owned by, if I'm not mistaken, it's the only plot that is Irish-owned on the entire chain, but I might be wrong in that. Almost everything else is, I need to read up on it again. I think almost everything else is Welsh families that steaded there and started putting their companies there. But I think
That explains the sheep.
yeah. I mean, it is actually really good grazing land for sheep. Would be great for cattle too, but
Yeah, sheep are better than cows. They're way more cool.
I need to
Like,
read up on it
attitude-wise.
because the history of the Falklands is actually like really cool. But yeah, I mean, if you want to give me a insight roll, Torn, to see if during downtime you go walking out and about off base and off the little port base to see what's out. Alright. As you go
Find a funny
walking
man
on out.
selling the funny rocks. Uh-oh.
Oh no. You do come across a not so much street vendor, but it's kind of those I guess the best way to describe it is, you know, the little caravans outside of reservation land where they make a whole bunch of stuff and then they go to the edge of land alongside the interstate, and it looks like an actual interstate stop, but it's not. It's just a bunch of very nice setup caravans. You see one of those, and it's a lot of sheep and goat and various lamb product and some clothing, some various jackets and apparel, some stuff claiming to be Falkland National type ordeal. But for the most part, meat. It's not like, oh, hanging off the stick, cured, cooked meat. It's uncooked, wrapped in paper, but you can buy some sheep if you want.
Just a whole sheep?
No, yeah. Shit. I don't think he has... he is carrying some money. Right? Wait.
I'm gonna assume I went with you.
You should be able to check your. You should be
Are
able
you
to
planning
check
on
under
buying-
gold is how much dollars you have.
Are you planning on buying a whole sheep?
Kobold is going to buy an entire sheep. Yes.
I gotta do some googling here real quick.
If he doesn't have
mind
enough
they
money,
were-
he's just gonna trade a British grenade.
Wow. Okay.
Keep in mind, sheeps were cheaper.
Alright. Yeah, so I guess you'll approach. This guy's got some leg of lamb wrapped up in paper. He's got some cured meat kind of sitting by. It's a lot of preserved, kind of, some of it even already jerked. But there is a couple sheep in a little pen next to it. And he kind of greets you over with a little bit of a smile, having never seen a kobold on the island, it would seem. Kind of looks to you and is like already kind of gesturing for, hey, you want a leg of lamb? You want 2 legs of lamb? You don't even have to cook it likely. You can probably eat it straight.
How much for the whole sheep?
A whole sheep. And he'll kind of start looking back and he'll be like, yeah, for the 2 legs, for the ribs, for the side, for a head, for the hooves. And he's like setting all the individual wrapped pieces forward.
No. The live sheep.
Oh, and you don't eat them live, do you?
What? No. It's for later.
Behind the kobold, I'm just nodding up and down.
yeah. Every time he looks at the guy, or Torin looks at the guy, and when he says that, we're gonna be nodding, and then when Torin turns back, we just kind of, lean
Are
back
you
like,
two gonna be the 2 parents, like 30 feet away, just kind of watching as he goes up to buy Legos?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Just close enough to be within earshot,
Yeah. He'll kind of look, leans his head out the little window, looks back over. Well, how much would you like to pay? I could tell you the going price.
I'd like you to tell me the going price.
Well, locally around here, and considering some of the shortages, it's about $14.
12.
You'll blink twice. I don't want to take too much of a loss. What's your plans with the sheep?
Eat it.
Humanely, correct?
Yes, later.
The 2 of us in the background going, no. And then every time we get maybe in his peripheral vision back to casually standing there.
Little bit of a worried eyebrow cock from him. 12?
Yo, they have a Starbucks in Stanley.
Oh god.
Jeez. Okay.
Right next to a Burger King.
If you promise to be kosher with the sheep, I'll sell you one for 12.
Okay.
You'll...
Find a Jew.
I'm just waving my hands and mouthing. He's not Jewish. He's not Jewish.
He was saying kosher as a matter of phrase, like be nice to him. And Tor took that as I'll find a Jew. Oh my god. I'm gonna need to isolate that. That was oh, my chest hurts.
This whole session has been.
Holy shit. Alright, yeah, he'll kind of nod. I'm assuming you'll pay him the $12.
Yeah.
Right, minus 12 from your money. He'll smile at that, kind of roll it, put it in his pocket, step out, heads over to the little pen that has about 5 sheep in it. Would you trust him just to grab one for you, or are you wanting to, like, pick one out?
We'll watch him. As long as he's not picking the skinniest motherfucker in there, I mean, we'll let him grab one.
Roll me insight.
Do you want me to medically
Come on,
check
I should
up
know
on
what creatures have good meat on.
Oh, yeah.
You want me to do a medical... do enamored by live sheep.
You're kind of tempted to hug him and pet him, because this is your first time seeing sheep up close.
Wow, hug and pet? Oh no, look at all that meat.
They're fluffy, though.
These ones are super fluffy.
Oh.
They're shearing sheep.
Oh, what? No. Okay.
Well, all sheep are shearing sheep.
But he picks one up, kind of in that sheep style where your arms are in front and behind both sets of legs, so you're kind of like cupping them. And he'll raise it up, step over the little fence, go in front of you and be like, "Are you able to carry this, or should I get it a leash?"
Lead, please. What do I look like I can carry that?
I didn't want to assume your strength. Okay. You'll go over, you'll get a little lead, tie it around nicely, let out about 4 feet, hand it over to you to grip it. They shouldn't try to run away, they're fairly well domesticated. But, enjoy your sheep.
Torin's gonna look back at the other two.
We're just gonna be like,
we're acting super casual in the distance.
no. At this point, I'm not even trying to fake it. I'm just like half arm, one arm crossed over my, over my sternum, and the other one's just covering my face. Deep breath.
Are you guys tired of shitty ship biscuits?
Do you want to tell him, or shall I?
You can tell him.
Tell me why.
You know what? No, this is a learning experience. We'll just let him find out. And I would go from looking at Piotr to looking at Torin with this smirk on my face, and then I just turn, cane under one arm, and start walking away.
Hey, what am I supposed to find out, Bull Scratcher?
I'm gonna not say anything and follow, actually no, I'm gonna follow Leroy, and I'm gonna go to him and see, I told you the Lord was always watching.
I'm just shaking my head as I walk away.
Having seen plenty of art of Torin now, I really want a picture of him leading a sheep. Looking like a little kid.
Stanley.
Looking like a little kid at Disney, just leading a happy little sheep. Just la 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 la.
He is then going to butcher and cook.
Yeah. What's funny is the sheep could almost be cavalry. You could mount that if you wanted to.
Don't tempt me.
Sheep cavalry. Oh man. Yeah, as you guys make your way, you're leading your sheep behind Dad and Dad number 2, who are kind of chuckling and giggling to themselves. Peter and Leroy, roll me perception at disadvantage if you two would. Ooh, okay. Okay. Peter, you don't quite notice it. You're a little too tickled at the idea and what all went down and just, okay. But Leroy, your astute mustache tingles a little bit as you look back and you see a particular sign along the side of the road as you guys are walking along that says, Shorn Sheep, and it says, let me double check here, make sure I get the price right.
Oh, fuck you.
$3.30. And then underneath it in big all caps, sell.
You motherfucker.
Well, you got one that wasn't shorn, you know?
We'll have to share it and make a coat.
I really hope we don't end up killing this sheep and it's just hanging out in Torrance' room back at the college. Just waiting. He's like, wait a minute, I can make a sweater out of this.
As you guys make your way back to the port, the little gatehouse obviously is going to look at you with a little bit of a enamored kind of, okay, you two are fine, and I know you left with the kobold, but why is the kobold leading a sheep?
Kobold is riding the sheep now. He got tired of walking.
The gate guard with his rifle slung, a helmet kind of cocked back, is now looking to the two of you, like, with this look of answer for your son riding a sheep.
I'm gonna hold up a blank piece of paper to the guard.
And he's wearing...
I'm gonna say, all I say is business, do not question.
And he is wearing the German...
I'm gonna mutter aside to Piotr, forgive me, Father, for I'm about to sin. I'm gonna look at the gate guard and say, look, you've got sodomite problems with the kobold, you got a sheep fucker problem. Just keep walking.
The kobold is wearing the German captain's hat.
I got that. He looks to the kobold, kind of hard focuses on the German officer's hat, looks at the sheep, kind of steps to the side. He knows your OSS. He knows you guys are given like full ramifications to go wherever because you've been granted that clearance. But he's still, it's a very hesitant step to the side as you guys are able to enter through. And is just kind of looking to the three of you with a bit of a, what the fuck kind of look.
Again, as Torin passes him, I'm gonna flash him the blank piece of actually blank piece of paper again, and say, "Forget you ever saw us," and then continue walking.
He'll take the blank paper, open it up, look at both sides of it.
I'm already gone by now.
Just squinting a bit.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all? I know what's wrong. What the fuck's wrong with y'all?
He's gonna hold the paper up to a lamp just to see if there's anything invisible written on it. He's gonna wet it with some water a little later. Nothing. Toss it in the trash.
In his mind for the rest of his life.
The rest of his 12-hour coast is now thinking about the German kobold officer riding a sheep.
No one is ever going to believe him.
I know everyone's going to believe him, because Torin's going to ride that sheep everywhere until we leave.
Oh, fair.
No, what's going to happen is he's going to ride that sheep everywhere until it's dead. And then he's going to have a fucking Hachu resurrected.
Oh no.
He's gonna ride a ghost sheep everywhere.
A skeletal ghost sheep
and
sounds kinda cool,
and Leroy's gonna be terrified and not go anywhere near the fucking sheep.
This is my cavalry. I named it Mary.
The fuck is this company coming to?
I don't know, but Captain, U-boat Captain Torin on his sheep comes riding up with the two of you back towards the little barracks that you guys are staying in. You guys have been granted one of those entire, like, single-room, long, stretched barracks, like the old ones with the bay windows running along all sides. Just entirely to yourselves. So, Nikos and Hachu, you guys are able to look to the door as Sheephead, and then Sheep, and then Torin enters, and then the other two behind them.
Made a new friend, I take it?
I bought dinner.
Alright.
So are you guys actually gonna cook the sheep tonight?
Kobold has to kill it.
I'd fail the rolls to butcher it, so I'm not doing that.
Kobold's gonna try.
Is that strength or dexterity?
That'd be a sleight of hand, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
Because there's some things you don't want to puncture.
Someone who's field butchered many animals? Yes, there are.
Yeah, give me a sleight of hand, Torin.
I almost feel like
outside.
I almost feel like gutting a sheep is probably the most dangerous, or just gutting an animal is probably the worst.
Oh my god, that 25. Okay. Yeah, all of you guys kind of sitting down, hanging out one of the windows just beside. You hear a small sort of yelp cry as it's throat gets slit properly. It goes silent. You hear a little rattle. You can see 2 hind hooves being pulled upwards. And then you just hear occasional cutting and ripping, some tugging, a few grunts from the kobold here and there. 1 or 2 instances of a bit of a plop or a slosh. And then you hear a couple more tugs and grunts. And then a pretty happy with himself, like,
Kobold's getting it on.
haha, as, yeah, you have successfully, with a fucking 25, completely butchered this sheep to perfection. No wasted meat, the perfect amount of trim and fat.
Can I amend that a little bit?
Sure.
The entire thing is on a spit over a fire.
Oh, you're just gonna okay.
The whole thing is on a spit over a fire.
So you're wanting to butcher it to be spit cooked then?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I thought you were wanting to butcher it like completely in all the different parts.
It's
okay.
a fucking feast.
Oh fuck. Okay. Yeah. In that case, yeah. Very similar process, except instead of a full butcher, it's that sort of half butcher that you do to get it spit cook ready. Yeah. Okay. I'm assuming you'll set that up. 1 or 2 of the other soldiers will see and smell what you're doing, and eventually start calling some others. And pretty soon, you guys will have about a platoon worth of guys just hanging out, kind of watching and joking around as the fire goes. The night starts turning on, and shit. Yeah, I guess we'll round out this session before picking up next session with you guys arriving in London. We'll round out this one with you guys having a nice Falkland Islands military spit cookout of poor Mary.
It was so hard to fight the temptation to not kill the sheep.
It would have been so funny to keep the sheep.
Just taking it on the ship, like, oh yeah, this is mine. Take care of it.
Oh my god.
No, on the plane. We're flying back, remember?
Oh my
jumps.
God. Fucking sheep in the back of the plane.
Keep a sheep in the plane. Oh no. It's just in one of those little wooden crates.
I'll make sure to invite our regular pilots to come eat the sheep with us.
Oh, they were going to join in whether you wanted to or not. And some of the ship crew were also going to join in. It's about a...
You're going to tell them they can't have any sheep?
About 30 to 35 guys.
You can't cook meat in the open without fucking attracting everyone.
Yeah. Especially a bunch of bored-ass grunts and sailors. Half of which getting off post or finishing their work for the day or whatever duty they had. And they just see open pit, like, spit cooking sheep. Oh yeah, they're all about it.
Chef Torin here.
They would be nice enough to bring seltzers and sodas or what little bit of beer or whiskey they might have snuck in, so it wouldn't be entirely just feeding a bunch of people, but but yeah, we'll round it off with you guys having a nice late evening cookout, and we'll pick up next session with a nice bright and early arrival 2 days later in England, arriving back at your main headquarters. And of course we'll have Wilhelm and everybody with us. Sorry didn't get to do too much this time, Nico. It was just kind of a
that's fine.
Filler one.
That's fine.
Yeah. Oh my god.